Hmm. Huh. Hey man, how you doing today?
Hey,
Uh,
can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you, man. You out making the big bucks, huh?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
You can't hear me? You can't hear me? Hang on. I don't know why you can't hear me. Let me see here. Uh, hello? Yeah, it's working.
Can you hear me now?
I could hear you before. You couldn't hear me, I guess.
Uh, I had it set up to the Bluetooth.
We'll see how you are.
Hang on 1 second. Let me put my camera off. So what's up, Larry?
The sky.
Snow for me.
That's what I heard. Hey, Sly, how you doing this morning? Good to see
She
you,
in the
girl.
chat.
Yep.
Sly Shy.
You got out making the big bucks today, huh?
Making something happen.
There you go. That's what matters.
Now we're contracted out for 4 times a month, so once a week or so. But these light little snows are great.
Yeah.
Except for the morons that don't know how to travel down the road in it. No wonder they give these fools licenses. They need them to drive.
Yeah, some people I kind of wonder about how they got a brain, let alone drive.
I wonder how some people function, like, to get out of bed.
It's all automated. Hey, Walt or Watt, what's going on? How are you doing today, man? Good to see you.
Who's here?
Uh, Watt Life.
Ah,
When I post it, I gotta post it in YouTube to be able to pin it. So it posts it and pins it when I pin it. So there's Sly.
yeah, Sly.
Ha ha.
Sly, you know I got a cosign with Larry. Otherwise, he'll fly over, pick me up in his jet, and take me away.
There you go, telling on me again.
Hey, I exposed the truth, man.
Yeah, nothing but, right?
I'm just here doing information.
There you go. Hello, audio radio, don't you know? She says whatever.
She just knows she's in a robe, otherwise she'd be talking to me now.
Yeah, she gave me shit yesterday because she's all like, "Oh, text me when you go live." So I text her, and I guess she texted me back, and I didn't know. And she's all like, "I'm in my robe," and then she came up on screen all dressed and everything. She's all like, "See, you made me fucking get dressed, asshole."
Well, we're at a dead stop on the highway. That's awesome. Gotta love it. And I've seen 2 cars in the ditch. Actually, 1 car and 1 truck. Apparently, 4-wheel drive doesn't stop on ice.
No way.
Yeah, for some reason that it just happens that way.
Reality, what a concept.
Okay, so this guy is like at a dead stop on the highway. There we go. Just smart people today. Yep, we're earning our intelligence points.
I remember one time I was going to work at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was going down I-5, and I hit some black ice, and I end up doing like 2 360s, going sideways down the freeway, and cars beside me and everything else, and I didn't hit one damn thing.
I was last season, I think it was. I was traveling down just a rural road, or a somewhat rural road. Hey, blacktop. But I hit the ice right as soon as the car in front of me hit the ice, and it was like we were figure skating. We were going around. The guy's sitting there freaking. I'm sitting there counter steering, you know, because there's not much you can do, but there is something you can do.
Right.
And as soon as I hit blacktop, man, I gunned it and went straight, and he's sitting there in the ditch like, oh my God, oh my God. It was good times.
Yeah, that's one thing when I was a kid, I used to go out and just do crazy shit to try to figure out, how to get out of stuff.
Yep. I'll tell you, I don't mind driving in ice and snow and shit. What I don't like, what I fucking hate, is I hate driving in rain.
Yeah.
Because with snow and ice, I'm aware. Like, I'm knowing that, hey, I'm going to slip. I'm going to slide. With rain, it's like you don't know if you're going to hydroplane or not. You know, so
Right.
it's that question. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird.
Well, that's a given.
This is true. This is true.
I mean, we all got to be a little weird to survive.
Well, we all got to be a little weird to be on Larry's channel, too.
Hey, there you go. Throw me underneath that bus again, damn you.
Hey, that is a big proverbial bus, and I have lots of throwing.
I bet you do. I love it. I love it.
So I've been trolling in this channel. It's a Christian chat. Let me tell you, this is funnier than hell, honestly, because I grew up in the church. I grew up reading the Bible and everything like that. And, you know, I've got pastors in my family. In fact, many pastors in my family, etc. You know,
Right.
so I've got a pretty decent. You know, I'm not a Bible scholar, but I know what the people are talking about when they open the book.
Right.
Well, this dude, oh my gosh, man, I'm telling you, it's hilarious because I'll be like, yeah, so where is that in the Bible? Or is that your preaching?
Yeah.
And then I'll come in with scripture and everything. Well, yesterday there was this dude, he came in with some scripture and he caught me off guard, and I had to give him some accolade. I was like, dude, I definitely, you know, what you're saying is not what you're saying. You're bringing that book into it, so there's only so much that I can say. But I'll tell you, he brought up some interesting points. It had very little to do with what I was saying, but in other regards, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Kind of threw you off your game for a minute, huh?
It did, honestly, and it's not something that's normally. I mean, I'm normally pretty quick witted and everything like that, but he got me, and I let him know he got me too. He's like, or I said to him, I was like, yeah, I don't know what to say to that. I'm gonna have to research that.
Well, that's good. We all need challenges.
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, I'd rather have somebody like that in a chat room that can give me an actual conversation instead of, you know, most of the people, whenever I would say something, they would just defend their leader, and it's like, come on now.
Yeah. The old bobbleheads.
Yep. And it's even worse in a Christian chat because they're bobblehead for Jesus and they're bobblehead for their preacher.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, all right, which bobblehead am I dealing with now? The Jesus bobblehead or the other one?
There we go.
Are you dying?
No, I'm zombified.
Oh, God, I'm not able to see the chat or see what you're doing or anything like that.
I'm being my weird self.
Yeah, apparently people don't know how to take a curve at 60 miles per hour, so
You're supposed to
kind of
turn the wheel? No way.
just slightly on this one.
Damn it. I hate that when that happens.
Yeah, I'm headed into St. Paul right now. I'm just north of St. Paul, like right on the border. So traffic gets all thick and heavy and everything like that. And it's like, what the fuck, people?
Yeah. That's
And
one
of
thing
course,
that's one thing we used to do when we were kids is we'd wait till rush hour in Seattle and then we'd go on the freeway and we get two or three cars and start passing bongs and shit across our cars on why we were stopped in the middle of I-5.
that's awesome. Smoking traffic.
Yep. People
That's a
just look
good,
at people
that's
would
that
look
quality white smoke.
yeah. Yeah, we were pretty crazy when we were kids.
I've definitely done a bunch of stuff that I could probably, well, statute of limitations probably up, but I won't discuss.
Yeah.
We all have a past. I haven't always been a nice, smart guy. You know, I'll tell you, you got to be some kind of stupid in order to get some kind of intelligence.
Well, that's a given. Which way did he go? Uh, hey, George. George. Hey, George. Why is he turning blue, George? George. Why is he turning blue? Yeah, there's definitely cult members everywhere, Mary.
I like the Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, good.
Just
Kool-Aid.
waiting for the comet. Just waiting for the comet. No Kool-Aid here. So we've in the metro area here, Minneapolis, St. Paul, we've had two incidents where officers were shot within the past week.
Yeah.
Well, for the one, there were two officers that were shot at. One of them was, I think he was hit in the stomach. I don't remember for sure. Nevertheless, dude, I'm telling you,
We lost you.
says I'm still in the show.
Now you are back. Yeah.
There?
Yeah, you're fine now.
No, they had the state trooper helicopter, two Bearcats, and half of the entire Ramsey on, and there were like 3 or 4 different departments involved. Well, then we had a civilian shot in St. Paul, and I think there were 3 squads.
Yeah.
And no arrest.
I wonder about, I don't know, half these shootings I don't believe.
Well, my point of view on that one is as a business owner, I happen to pay some of the taxes that go towards that kind of stuff.
Right.
And if they're using it to get their own guy taken care of, but they're not using it to get all the guys taken care of, well, why am I paying for it? I don't like police any more than I like anybody else.
Well, you know, when they're training now, they're trained that they have to be ready to shoot their own kids, their own wife, their own whatever.
Well, of course, if that blue blood doesn't run through them, it's fucking war.
Yeah, they're programming in that their lives are the most important lives there are basically on this earth.
Yep. I was talking to an officer a while back, last snowfall, and I I had asked him about the Ramsey County Sheriff, what his opinion was, and he told me he was an excellent man like 8 times, so I knew he was full of shit there. And so I asked him, I said, dude, I've got one more question for you. I was like, just out of curiosity, do you know the 5 elements of the First Amendment? He got 2 or 3 of them, and he's like, man, it's been a long time. I looked at him, I said, sir, you're on duty right now. You are upholding that oath right now as we speak. How could it be a long time if it's during the current present?
Yeah.
He looks at me. He didn't know what to say, man.
Imagine that. Well, I remember when I was a kid, when they were still called peace officers, when they used to have altercations, they always shot people like in the leg and in the arm, a non-lethal shot. Now they just go for the kill.
Absolutely. Dead men tell no stories, and when you're being a terrorist, you need no stories told.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a sec. I need to do some lane changing and shit.
1,000,
I'll be right back.
1001, your seconds up. So we lost a couple people. It says we have only one left in chat. Is it Sly or is it Mary?
Oh, dude, you better slow the fuck down and not hit me. Thank you.
Well, all the fun.
Dude came up at like 70 on me. I'm doing like 40.
No difference. Oh. So it must be nice when you have those contractual jobs that you can depend on all the time.
Hang on 1 second, buddy.
Not a problem.
Plows have not came through here yet. Little bit slick on the highway here. All right, I'm back from never leaving. Hello?
But then again, I always wondered about Never Never Land. How
It's
can
my
it be
favorite place
if you're never there? But yet it's a land.
because it's a land in your head.
Oh, damn it. I hate that when that happens.
Well, at least it's good property.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it ever getting full or ever getting empty, right?
Right?
At least hope it don't get empty.
Dear Lord, I love how people. Wow. This guy just went around the wrong lane and everything to get around this guy that couldn't figure out how to fucking drive. Almost took one to the fucking nose.
Oh shit!
What a douchenheimer.
I haven't heard that one before.
It goes back to the Germanic hymen.
Oh yeah.
He's got a load of wood in the back of his truck, and it doesn't look like it's tied down. Oh, I guess it is. What the hell is he building with 8 2x4s and a piece of plywood? What the hell? I'll tell you, people never cease to amaze me here in St. Paul.
I think that goes for almost anywhere nowadays.
It's more concentrated in bigger cities.
No, you just see, there's more of them to notice.
Right.
And they seem to go in packs, kind of like the zombie thing.
That reminds me of a meme I saw this morning on one of the shorts. It was this little girl crying, and mom says, "What's wrong?" And she says, "Dad called me a Democrat."
Yeah.
I'm not Republican or Democrat, but that shit's funny.
Yeah. Well, they're both basically the same fucking thing.
That's why I'm not a Republican or a Democrat.
Yeah.
All that is it's two wings of the same bird that needs to be shot.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Good morning.
Hey, you.
Hello. Who is you?
What's that?
Oh, hello. I
Hi,
can't see the chat.
Oh, it's Mary.
Yeah, I figured that out by your voice.
Oh, okay. I dipped out because I will not argue on another person's channel, Larry, and I really did not want to bring or be a part of that energy yesterday, so I had to dip out real quick.
Not a problem. I totally understand things. I was expecting things to get crazy sooner or later, and it happens.
Well, it's a contradiction to tell someone you're 100% right and then pick apart the words they use.
Yeah.
Well, wait. I'm 100% right.
You used the word right wrong. I'm a debater, so I can debate all day long.
Whoa. See, now you're talking into my language. I am a master debater.
Okay, so my only issue is this.
I just masturbate. I forget the rest.
Oh, shit. Oh, we went there. No, I'm just kidding. People used to tell me when I was younger, you need to be a lawyer and stuff, because I had a way of debating topics that were hot button issues without getting, hot-headed about it. But I am human, so there is a part of me that when I feel like I'm being nitpicked, I am my own body, no matter how the nitpicking happens, whether it's through a dog or a person. I get really uptight about that, because if we're talking about a broad subject and you start picking out the words being used because of different meanings with different people, that becomes a problem,
Well, I understand what you're saying, and if we're using common vernaculars or common language, that's one thing, and we all have a general understanding. I'm big on words, so I don't know what ended up transpiring. I just know that I'm really big on words and definitions, like try. I hate the word try. And when somebody says the word try, I say, you're going to fail.
Yes.
You know, and there's certain words out there that, you know, like, for instance, when people that are of a particular faith run around and they talk about how they believe in this and believe in that, I'm sorry, but it says have faith, not believe.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know,
100%. Yes.
and there's just some things where it's the looseness of definition and the inaccuracy of common vernacular. Anyways, I need to jump off for a second. I'll jump back up here in a minute.
Cool. And I'm really cool with explaining myself. So I just want to put that out there. Like, anybody can ask me what I meant. If I misspoke or something, yeah, I definitely want to know. But to be admonished because someone thought I was speaking individually, we are human beings. That is a fact that none of us can escape.
I'm
So,
an alien, so there. Don't call me no human being ever again, woman.
shit,
Let-
Larry, I forgot.
Damn
But
you.
we are a group dealing with living on this earth, dealing with a system that we didn't take part in creating. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we all need to investigate, learn, adjust ourselves, um, roll with the punches. I think we all need to learn those things all the time because 20 years ago it wasn't the same situation. So now you have to adapt.
Yeah, and the biggest problem is things are a lot. I mean, we all know things are bad, but I believe things are a lot worse than we even realize.
I agree with you. Yes. Can't point it out, can't pinpoint things, but inside, right? You feel like inside things are not as hunky dory as they want us to believe or they used to be.
Well, I mean, new information, is coming out every day, and it's just sad and sickening to really understand that people basically have no conscience, no. As long as they're doing good, that's all that matters. Basically, it doesn't matter what everybody else is going through. It's sad.
I always put my mask on before I help anybody. When I'm flying in an airplane and the thing goes down, you always got to help yourself before you can help others.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, I like what Monel was saying about perspective and stuff because everyone, there really are there's no two perspectives that much alike. So if we can't take a minute to absorb what another person's saying, I don't think we're really absorbing it.
I think it's interesting. There was a very good man one time, a long time ago. He said, "I give you two commandments." He said, "Love the Most High with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind." And the second one is like it: love your neighbor as yourself. And I think
Yeah.
that thing gets misquoted so very often because what we fail to realize is the two most important parts are the beginning and the end. And the middle is what is supported by the middle or by the beginning and the end. And in that saying, the beginning is the Most High, and in the end is you.
Yes. God, I never heard it said so well. Yes.
And if you don't love yourself, how can you express love? You don't know what it is.
Absolutely. And you need to have those lines. Like as an individual, I think we have to. Go ahead. I was saying, I think we have to have those lines in regard of I don't want to say boundaries. That's a bad tag word of society, but protecting oneself is really the only way to say it.
I call it a standard of excellency.
Yes, yes,
Because
absolutely.
if your excellency is below a given standard, and not to say that society is a good place to get that standard, you have to always be conscientious of where your morals and where your values come in. Nevertheless, there is merit to, having a standard of excellency. Like, for instance, with my shoveling. Before I go home, all of my jobs are completed, even if there's a problem and I have to go back.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. That, man, I'm glad you said that because being from New York, I go at a different pace than most people. I'm more fast paced. Everything's hurry, hurry, hurry. I've tried years to get rid of that attitude. I even have to have a mantra when I go to town. You're not in a rush. You don't have to hurry. And that's on me. That's on me to discard that way of life. Uh, and others might see that as a great big negative. But adaptation and is actually a good positive. I mean, I guess. Am I saying it wrong?
I think adaptation can be a good positive. It's like anything else, it's how you use it. Just like a handgun. A handgun's not dangerous at all. It's just a piece of fucking metal. And polymer at points in time. I mean, the only thing that is really inherently dangerous if it magically falls off of something, but it itself does not have the ability. It's the action of the user that makes it, whether it's benevolent or inherently good, or excuse me, benevolent or inherently evil.
Right. And that's the thing. If we're not self-aware, like I understand, like I love how you said about loving thy neighbor, but the self-aware part and how you love each other, how you love yourself, will dictate how you love your neighbor.
Absolutely. In the measure which you judge, you so also will be judged. So if
Yeah.
you're finding that everybody's being negative towards you, then most likely there is a place in your life that you are just not satisfied with yourself, and they are just a reflection of that.
Yes, 100%. And it doesn't say anything bad about someone. It just we would love to see people love each other, love themselves better. Because I think if we really boil it down, what we see in society is the lack of self-love.
Absolutely. It's a despising of oneself.
So you absolutely cannot even love your neighbor.
No, because you don't know what love is.
And see,
If you don't know,
go ahead.
if you do not know well, for instance, if you don't know what snow is, then you won't know how to shovel it inherently because you don't know what the first thing is.
Yes.
And there's a natural progression that if you have snow, then you need to move it.
Right.
And I mean, it sounds stupid, but nevertheless, it's a great analogy.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I like how you said the standard of excellency because like I'm raising teenagers right now and as teenagers will be, they know everything. Hold on one second.
I disagree with even saying that because it puts them into a position where they're already in a competition because you're predicting their behavior by your words, if that makes sense.
I'm not sure she heard you or not. She had to go take care of the dog. Hey, look at this long-haired hippie here in this picture.
I'm traveling, man. I can't.
All right, it's me when I was like 19. I'm at Farrell's eating a pig trough.
You say
Long-haired hippie.
you say long hair hippie. I say feral individual.
Crap, I
Oh,
guess that means I'm a feral individual.
Ah. Hey, did you hear what I was saying about teenagers?
No, can you say that again? My puppies were popping off.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So what I do with my son is I don't predict his behavior. I don't say, he's a teenager. Teenagers know everything, because he doesn't know everything. So if I affirm that he's in a he's in competition with what I've said to a certain degree.
Hmm.
So it deflates his ability to have a standard of excellency, because I've already told him he's going to be a smart ass.
I see. That's
You know, and
very wise. I think that's a trap I think most parents don't understand they're falling into.
no, a lot of parents don't know how to be parents because they weren't taught by parents.
yeah,
Right.
imagine that.
No,
Oh
that's
my
100% because when I left my parents, I knew in my gut, my soul, that I was not taught properly. So I put myself in college, and so many people laugh at that. Like they really want me to feel humiliated by reteaching myself properly. And I took courses like my first course of choice was personal psychology because I needed to know who I was, what I went through, the damage it did to me. And then in my second semester, my second course of choice was social problems because I knew there were such big problems in the world that it wasn't just my personal experience in my own personal life. So through those courses, I found a book called The Art of Loving. And I was like, holy crap, I don't know nothing about loving. This is a great book to read. You know, it was outside of all my classes.
Right.
And you're 100% right with the Most High beginning and the self being the ending, and love is supposed to be the motivation. And just talking in general, I know there's other motivations, right? But
Not really. Not really. Not at all, because humans only actually have two emotions. All other emotions are derived from two. And those emotions are fear, which is the least of powerful, and love, which is the most powerful. Because hate is not the opposite of love. Hate is derived from fear.
yes,
You know,
yes.
so when you look at it, you're either loving something to life or you're killing something to death.
Ah,
yeah.
so the feeling I had yesterday, um, uh, the incessant talking about the social problems and the non-incessant talking about solutions and ways to live through it. I wasn't far off the mark. That's a necessary conversation.
I'd say so.
And
Yeah.
the goal is not first to love others. The goal is to first love the person
Thyself.
you are.
Yep.
Yeah,
It doesn't say no others. It
right.
says know thyself.
Yes. Yes. And if you're not knowing, like that deep knowing of oneself, then the knee-jerk reactions, the jump into conclusions, those things are more predominant. And I don't think they notice that they're even doing it.
No,
Uh,
they don't know what they do because it's a lack of awareness.
Yes.
To be self-aware means you're aware of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like, for instance, in the chat room that I go in, they always tell me that I'm mean and I need to have love. And I say, well, if I see somebody on a fucking cliff and they're not realizing that there's a fucking cliff, if you have somebody yelling at them saying, hey, stop what you're doing this horribly wrong and you're going to die, or not say anything, which is more loving?
We can't bring them tea and crumpets while they're standing on the edge of oblivion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Mary, I'm not sure if you can see the chat, but Sly saying good morning to you.
Good morning, Sly. Listen, anything can be solved with calm, clear communication. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm just picking fights or anything. But me leaving yesterday was all about me protecting who I am, knowing who I am, and not allowing myself to go into any kind of negative arena, whether it's in my mind or established by someone else.
Let me ask you this. Did that conversation, I don't know what happened in the conversation. I don't care in the sense of, in the grand scheme of things, like, I'm not looking to be in business. That's not mine,
Right.
is what I'm saying.
Right.
But my question to you is, did that conversation make you mad?
Unrighteously mad, yes.
Okay, do you know what the word mad means?
Just going by what I've learned, layman's terms, out of control.
It means to be out of one's mind or insane. So if you walk around affirming that you are truly insane, then you will have no sanity within you.
Yes, that's why I said unrighteously, because I knew that the situation tapped into, there's some things about my past I can't get rid of. I couldn't love my parents into not being abusive. You know, there's some things I have to accept about them and about other people. And that was one of the topics that upset me. And yeah, it is a crazy feeling. And
Right.
I didn't want it to get into the mix of the conversation because I knew it was mine personal.
So you made a wise decision. It wasn't that you were, I don't know, like, I don't mean to speculate on your feelings or your emotions or anything. I just,
Okay.
there's some things that I know that when I stopped saying, for instance, when I got rid of that word out of my mouth, for the most part, except an example, when I got rid of it out of my mouth for the concept of for me,
Yes.
it changed my life. That word and the word try, both of those words, when I got them out of my mouth, I was better at being alive.
I'm gonna take those lessons, what I've learned this morning, because even though I went through 3 years of college, there are some of these common sense things outside of society, like within the human brain and mind, that don't get discussed. Like you're saying, like how these words, like the word try, as soon as you said it, I was like, holy crap, he's right. Because you're basically telling, say I'm talking to my teenager, well, go try again. We're basically saying you're a failure and I'm not going to accept you until you're not a failure no more.
Pretty much. And as far as my parents, like, my parents did not do, according to societal standards, they did not do a great job per se.
Mm-hmm.
They chose to discipline me in manners that I would never personally choose
Yes.
for my son.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. Like, ever.
Yeah.
However, what I've learned as an adult is I've learned that my parents did the best that they did, when they did, what they did, how they did. They didn't make it right.
Right.
But they did do enough to care enough to at least get pissed off.
Yeah.
You know, so in that love-fear basis of relationship with my parents, you know, my dad looks at my parenting and he, like, my mom passed a couple years back, so she hasn't really been able to see me shine while my son is you know, in those formidable years. It was all the younger years, and she saw that I was doing good then. Since then, my dad has really been able to see me bring my child up in the way that I should be.
Mm-hmm.
And he's flabbergasted. He's like, "Where did you learn this stuff? It wasn't from me." I said, "I learned what you taught me." He said, "Well, how's that?" I said, "When you did something that I saw was wrong, I learned to do the exact opposite. So you taught me."
Yes.
And that way I'm still able to honor my father regardless of his mistakes, because if I, by the measure of which I am judging my father, I will also be judged by my son.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, so if I take the judgment out of that, then it leaves for freedom of correctness, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Well, you're not in that angst anymore. So I just want to interject and say that I made that mistake with my first child because I didn't know better. I hadn't gone to college yet. And I hate that it was learned through my mistakes with her. And the mistakes were what you're saying. Like, my parents were idiots. They were bad. They were mean. They were blah, blah, blah. You interject whatever verb you want. Probably fits them. But it wasn't my place to do that. Not in front of my child.
Definitely not, because it shows your child how to belittle you.
And that's exactly what she did.
Yep.
So no lie. And here's the thing. Yes, we is a real testing word. It is a testing word for a lot of people because it groups people together. But with what I just learned through you, Nubs, I think it is a we. We as humans were taught wrong. We as humans were led down a path of very specific thinking and behavior. So I think we were. Yeah, we as humans, like right now, we're really I've learned so much in the last 45 minutes. And I thought I learned a lot already going through college and learning things a different way outside my parents.
Well, I have not spent a dime on college, and I have spent every penny I've had on a life worth living. And I feel
I didn't believe
if
I had that life, and that's why, like, I literally had to go to college to love myself. I had to do something for myself.
I disagree with that statement. You were taught that you had to go to college before you could love yourself.
No,
Thank you, Nubs.
no. I need you to understand. I grew up in a violent bubble. I did not know of society, and I tried through churches. I tried through family. I tried through other relationships I've had, and that word love was vague. It was like the outlining of the word love with nothing inside.
So well, that would be the definition of love, because a definition defines the outside of something. It tells you nothing of the content.
Well, in my immature mind at the time, I felt like this was empty love, that what people were giving me was what they thought I deserved, not what actually I deserved. So I literally had to go see the human concept. What is this society we're living in? Because I was confused. First CPS comes to take us, then they leave us there, and then they let him sue for child support. I was so confused by what I saw in society, what I saw in my private life, that I myself felt like I needed like a neutral place to learn. And I know we're indoctrinated. So, I know that now.
Right. Give me a second. I need to do my shoveling. I'm still going to be here, but I'm going to not be talking. Hang on.
Okay. So I know a lot of people fall into the going to college by way of social programming. I didn't. I realized after the fact that it was social programming. So I now had to go back and filter everything I learned through the deprogramming filter and understand what was real and what was not real. And yeah, there's places in high school that was like that. There's places in college where you're really questioning, oh my God, is this real? Are they really telling me the truth? And you find yourself having to research even more and more. That's why I say I'm like a research queen, because I didn't believe just what the college told me. I went and researched, and that's how I found that book of Art of Loving by I forget his name. Ethan Fromm, I think it is.
Well, I
Um,
think the biggest thing about school and college and all that is one thing I think you need to pat yourself on the back is you got yourself the information you needed and wanted, but yet you didn't get programmed. A lot of people that go into schooling get programmed and think that's the only way of thinking, you know? I mean,
yeah, so
we all have our own ways of learning and our own tools in life on what we think that we need. And, my tools and my learning might not work for you and vice versa,
mhm, mhm.
but and it's not to say that my way is the right way and your way is the wrong way. They're both the right way for us at that time.
Correct. Right. Exactly. And that's why you look at my YouTube page. I created a YouTube page in 2015, but yet
Yeah,
I'm only talking in the last few months because
right.
I've been shunned in some ways for the um for my delving into the deeper stuff, like what Nubs was saying about loving thy neighbor and stuff, and understanding the Bible and what it's trying to say to us. I don't give people opinions in that sense because that is such a hot button topic.
Yeah,
Like conversations on Bibles, like we do, they can't be held in a church anywhere near someone who's invested their life into the church, because instead of them thinking we want to dive deeper into this, which is what we're trying to do, they're thinking we're trying to tear it apart.
right.
I don't know. That's a funny place to be, when you're talking balance. It, I don't know. Things have been so twisted. What do you think, Sly?
I think she's frozen.
Is she frozen? I
I
thought she
think
was
so.
sitting still for the longest time.
I know. You're like, wait a minute. I wonder if she's up here twice. No, that's Moose.
There she is. Wait, she's moving. Okay, there she is. Hi.
Yeah,
You're
we can't
muted,
hear you.
sweetie.
Oh,
You're
I'm
muted.
so sorry. I had to text. I'm texting someone, so
Uh,
just mind me being frozen for a few minutes. I'll be back.
all
Oh,
right, girl.
gotcha. Okay.
Oh, and Larry, I can hear myself.
Uh-oh. Damn you. How come you're always the only one?
Is that Moose up there?
Yep,
Good morning, Moose.
that better.
Morning, guys. Morning. Everybody's still sleeping
You
here. I'm
sound
making
like
some
you just
coffee.
woke up.
Moose, make me some coffee too.
Is that better?
Oh man, my coffee machine's it's not pushing out water like it should be, man. Oh no.
You got to do a run of vinegar through your coffee maker. White vinegar.
That
Fill it
does
up.
help, but it seems like on these new coffee machines, their pump goes out really quick for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I've had a couple of the pump go out on them. I've cleaned them and everything else, and they don't make shit like they used to. Cheaper the cheaper for them, the better it is.
Of course.
That's
Always.
like that's like I was looking at some $1 million computer the other day, and the guy goes, "I can't believe they're using these water pumps. They look like something off of Alibaba, but yet they must work because it's been $1 million computer."
A water pump, what, for cooling purposes?
Yeah, yeah. The thing had 96 cores in it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why it was
All
a
right, I'm
million
back.
dollars.
What's up, Nubby?
He's working. Nubs is working right now. He can't talk.
I'm talking.
Oh, he's back.
Moosey, Moosey.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm sitting here whispering, I guess.
Well, you sound like
I just
I
woke
was
up.
messing with the wolf lady yesterday when she came up, right? She sounded like you did. Well, she sounded like you right now. That good morning. I mean, that morning voice.
I gotta get
Yeah,
some go juice.
yeah. That's the
Yeah,
first
man.
thing you
I've been
said
up.
to her. That's the
I'm
first thing
sorry.
you said to her, wolf lady, when she came up. She's like, "You sound just like Moose did when he first came up."
Yeah.
That morning voice.
How's that red road coming for you, Moose?
Things are going well. Things are going great, man. I'm
Good. Glad to hear it, sir.
Dag
you know,
Moose, you sound like a nightmare. Whooped your ass. Why
it
you
kind of
sound like
did.
that, man?
I had some crazy ones last night, and I've been up since like 4.
I've been up
But
since 1, man, and I don't sound like that, yo.
Shy, you're a different type, though. You know, you
you
I
guys
wait.
think
over there in Philly are kind of off a little bit. It's something in the water.
no, oh shit, no, wait, wait. Let me tell you, Moose. Let me tell you, Nubs. I don't drink the water. I stopped drinking the water, man, when I was like young. I knew not to drink the water. That's why I'm the way I am today, because I didn't drink the water. I knew better, man. I'm telling you. Listen, but it is crazy. It's definitely still crazy in Philly. I gotta put my trash out, y'all. So I'm gonna put y'all on hold for a minute because
Oh,
I need.
so the trash is more important than us. Thanks a lot, Shy.
You see how we roll.
No, you did hit me with the trash is more important. Yeah.
Hey, I was married once. I know how to do it.
Well, I don't have a hubby around here to put my trash out, Nubs. So I gotta put my own trash out. And then I
Well,
look out.
I've heard there was some appropriate suitors out there. You know,
Yeah,
it would only require eating
I'm
roadkill twice or 3 times a month.
no, we're sure that
That's it.
I declined that. Listen. I declined that when that offer was made. You heard? You heard? When that offer was made, I was like, "Oh no, I'm good. I'm all right where I'm at. I'll take the dirty city."
Hey, I've never eaten any kind of roadkill, but when I was pregnant for my last child, my son, I was sick the whole time. But my husband's step cousins invited us over for a home cooked meal. He got some rabbit. This is what we're told. I'm like, sure, I'll try rabbit, no problem. We go over there. You know, I've been vomiting 2 pregnancies now. We go over there and he puts the plate in front of us. The feet are still on the rabbit and the feet still have fur. I was like, oh my God, he just served me roadkill. Because
So, you know
what
how we were talking about there's many ways to do things? There's only a certain amount of ways to skin a cat or a rabbit or anything. So I just wanted to interject that one, and that's just proof in the pudding right there.
Dude, it still turns my stomach to this day. Just who would who would serve meat that still has the fur on it, practically, at least on its feet, to your company? Like, I would have thought that would have happened in maybe, I don't know, 1347 or something.
Look, I like a little tickle going down my throat when I eat my food.
Yeah, that's why I don't
Oh
eat things
my
that were alive.
What's that, Nubs?
I said that's why I don't eat my friends.
Yeah.
And it's prime example right there. Eating meat did not make you very happy that point in time.
But a bump.
I don't
Oh
know that.
gosh, that was great. But it
I
turned
remember.
The
That
unfortunate
reminds
part
me of
is,
the time when I was like about 10 years old. My uncle made me go into McDonald's and order 4 burgers.
oh no, oh my goodness. Or
You were
wait,
10. I'm sure it didn't take much encouraging.
I
or I
didn't know
was
what the
on the
hell it
channel
was.
talking to someone, and we were talking about, homesteading, and I have chickens and I have pigs here, and here they come out of left field. Don't you have another animal there? You got plenty of, kind of goes woof woof. I was like, you lucky I'm not by you. I'm not eating my babies.
Well, when you gotta eat, right? Isn't that how
I
they say
mean,
it?
what I meant to say is I won't eat them right now if I don't have to.
Yeah. I got smart a while ago when I became a vegetarian. I realized that sustainability was important, and I can't kill off an entire flock of, geese to make a vegetarian burger. Doesn't make
Mm,
very much sense. What I learned how to do is I learned when shit hits the fan, I learned how to forage.
hmm
And I know what plants I can eat, and I know what plants I can not eat. And I'll
hmm
tell you, if shit hits the fan, I'll be eating fine.
when I saw my daughter had an affinity for drawing and then flowers and plants, that's where I helped her go. Like, okay, I'm really glad you said that because look, this plant here, it was sourdough. We could eat this one. I ate it. She was a little girl. She's like, what? I'm like, this really isn't we had a grass front lawn. And I tell her, this isn't the way it's supposed to be like this. Like this, I think it was, oh God, I forget the name of it. I don't think it was purslane, but that keeps popping in my head. But I went to another herb and picked it and showed her like this one would be used for medicine. It had a white milkiness on it. I'm like, you would make like a cream or something out of that.
That's going to be, if it's the white creamy, that's going to be your opium lettuce, which is good for pain,
Yes, opium lettuce. Thank
or
you. That
wild
was good.
lettuce.
Yes, yes,
There's
yes.
about 6 names for it.
But I told her, like, I was gifted last year, or the year before, the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies
Okay.
by Dr. Nicole something. She went and did that show alone a couple times. And what I really liked about it is that on the show, she's showing, look, I'm foraging. This is my meal until I can get some meat or catch a fish. You can eat this, that, and the other thing. And she wrote a book, not on alone, but on lost herbal remedies, how to use it, how not to use it, what to use it for. And I help my puppies survive a virus that the vets want to convince the world that you have to be a vet to help them through a parvovirus. That's not true. Like these herbs not only help us, they help the animals that live on Earth. That's why dogs eat grass and stuff.
Do you know what plantain, the herb is? Not the
Yes.
banana.
No, the little it looks like the wild lettuce, right? But it's not.
It looks like asparagus with the small rosette at the bottom.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, I know what you're
Um,
saying now.
Nevertheless, it's called plantain. It's also
hmm
called white man's footprint. It's antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral. It should take care of that for your puppies. You can make a tea out of it. You can concentrate it by juicing it. It takes a lot to juice. And it literally grows everywhere.
Well, not exactly everywhere because I have to go source it like near the mountains because it's so dry out here.
Oh,
So
well, yeah, I suppose if you're dry.
I noticed when we
For
went
the most
fishing
part,
there was a
everywhere.
lot. Well, it's definitely near water, that's a guarantee. So when we went fishing, I noticed I'm like, I know where I can come resource the plantain and other like sourdough won't grow out here either because of how dry it is. So
Do you know what duckweed is?
I've heard of it,
Yeah.
yes.
Duckweed is a plant that doubles in 3 days. So it's a very fast growing plant. It's also like 40%, 40% protein
Really?
and also extremely nutrient dense. It's phenomenal for chicken feed and obviously duck feed, but it's a great source for your animals. And all you need is a couple of pieces and a bathtub of water, and it will grow. Put a
Hey,
couple
Really?
of yep,
that's what I put in my
put,
fish tank, right? On top.
yep,
I put it on the top of the fish tank and it just keeps
Well,
yep,
I
so that's
learned
actually
about it
good for us.
through. I learned about
phenomenal.
duckweed a little bit through. I plan on making a circular water system, including the overflow pond and a pond with fish in it. And what we were thinking was getting the duckweed um, for cleaning purposes. Like it does great for the water.
Oh yeah, it cleans the water out great. Hey, I'm at my next job site. I'll be back. I'm still here, but I'll be back in a minute.
All righty.
Love you, Nubbins. I missed you.
Of course you did. I'll be right back.
Good morning, Larry.
Hey, you.
So,
Good.
Moose, I dipped out yesterday because I felt like I was gonna argue with someone about the semantics of the meaning of the word, and I did not want to do it for my sake and because it's Larry's channel. I will not argue with someone in anyone's house either. Like I'm very strict about that.
I understand. There's no problem here. I'm actually trying to keep myself out of, unnecessary conflict.
Yes, yes, yes. And I wasn't up in my feelings. I don't like that someone dirtied that phrase in everything that happened in the last few months online. People have feelings, period. That's a great big giant MFing period that we all have feelings and no one should be feeling shame about having feelings.
Right.
And my feeling was I did not want to fight. If that's a bad feeling, then put the badge on my chest. I'll wear it, right?
Yeah.
All right, I missed that. No one should be feeling shame.
About feelings, because we're human and we all have feelings, right? Whether they're good, bad, indifferent, or what have you.
I mean, there's a reason why we have them, right? It's when we feel bad, it means that something is going on. It's a like, what do you call it? It's like a beacon saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, there's something wrong here." When you
Yeah.
feel happy, it's a beacon saying, "Hey, check it out. Like this is good. This is good for you."
Yes.
So,
Yes. And I just, it was just been thrown around a lot in the YouTube streets that I want to reclaim it. As a human being, I have feelings. Suck it up. You don't have to like them. You don't have to agree with my feelings, right? But it goes towards our perspective. And our perspective in life is very important.
I agree. I agree. I'm working on my steps right now. I'm working on step number 1.
Gotcha.
Yesterday, I kind of took a step back. Sly told me not to drink a near beer or whatever, and I went to the brewery. Well, this is what happened first. We went to the hiking group. We went hiking, and my wife and I had a good hike. We turned back a little bit early because the dog was getting real tired. She's getting older, and then we decided to come back, change the baby before we went to go get pizza. We were going to meet up with everyone, and then we get there, and we kind of got there at the same time as everybody else. And I was like, I want to get my pizza order in because I just want to eat. I'm not here to drink and stuff. And I don't know. It was I just the dynamic of the group is the guy who runs it is like a German guy, and so he's all about the beer. He walks in and kind of takes, the lead, and instead of me ordering my pizza, like he's like, I need beer now and we need beer now, and I got really frustrated, and I was like, you know what, fine, fuck it, I'm gonna go grab one of these near beers or whatever. And it was disgusting. Like I drank like I drank a quarter of it, and I was like, what am I doing? And my wife finally got her lemonade, and I was like, hey, can I trade you your lemonade for this thing? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. And then she drank like a quarter of it, and she was like, oh no, this is terrible.
Yeah.
so so she's like, I want my lemonade back, and I was like, well, I already drank most of it, but all right. But anyways, I don't know. I get really frustrated when people don't respect each other,
My
and
daughter
for
is
some,
going through that. Her husband struggles as well, and they have felt like they've had to drop all their friends because they've asked them, listen, don't bring beer to the property. If you're coming out to visit us, do us that favor. And they wouldn't listen. And my husband sometimes is guilty of it. If he knows they're coming over and he brought a beer home that night, he's not gonna say no, he ain't gonna drink it. And I'm like, yeah, don't not drink it. Just don't drink it in front of them because they're
yeah,
going through
exactly.
issues. It's like if you want someone to get off hardcore drugs, don't smoke crack in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand how that can be confused, but it kind of leads to the arrogance of this world, and that is a challenge when you have one man-made addictive substance after another. Whether you go to the doctor, you go to the pharmacist, you go to the bar, you go to the grocery store, and there's beer there. I'm not a
Yeah,
drinker. So for me, it's offensive to constantly have it in my face. I'm not a drinker. I don't go places. I don't go to bars. I don't do anything like that. So I can feel for your struggle, Miss. I really feel for you and your family because that's a hard rope to toe.
I don't see how these people afford to go to the damn bars and shit. $5 a damn beer.
well,
It's
because
worse in
they
New York.
suffer. They take one thing that they could have, or one bill that they could pay, and then they
Right,
go out and do that, or instead of putting it into their retirement fund or whatever.
right.
I'm pretty guilty of that, but
Right
it's not a
now, say
big
right
issue
now, say that
right
again,
now.
and just say right now. Yes, thank you.
I meant right now. I'm
Yes.
actually doing a lot better of not spending money and not sacrificing good things for bad things. Um,
What I
I,
do, I
I
mean,
think the baby's getting up.
what I do with being unlimited income is every month I'll make me a mental note on shit I need and shit I want, and I always make sure I get the shit I need before the shit I want,
Hmm.
and then I'm pretty usually really good about budgeting my money. The last couple months, for some reason, it's been more limited for some reason, and I think just certain things have come up that I didn't expect or whatever.
Right, right.
So I always usually try to have a little reserve, but it's hard when you have a limited income.
And that's the problem I've had with building my yurt is I'm doing it on a budget. And then they tripled the price of OSB and 2x4s. Like who's gonna pay $20 for one 2x4? Like
I
that's
know, isn't that crazy? I
insane.
used to be able to get them for $2 or $3.
Yes, and I need bigger ones. I need like 2x6s, so that's even more money.
Right,
And my yurt sits there freaking rotten because the sun. Well, I've tried storing it properly,
right.
tarps, the whole 9 yards. But the sun where I live, this very specific point where I live, the sun will break down a typical tarp within a month or two.
Yeah, the sun does the most damage of all. I agree with that. They
So,
say they try to say it's all UV protected and all that shit. It's not. It still breaks down.
they're full of shit. They're
Yeah,
I see it with my eyeballs. I've put 10 tarps over that thing in the last 3 years.
right.
And between the wind and the sun and the rats, I mean, I'm lucky the thing isn't completely destroyed, but we're gonna have to like figure out different walls and stuff now because the rats have chewed through things. Like I'm so ugh. That's one part I cannot control my anger about. It's a $16,000 house that
I heard that the damn plywood's like $80 a sheet now.
Listen,
yeah. And we have to make a circle of the yurt with 2x6s and plywood, which we could have afforded before the last 2 years happened. But then the
Right.
last 2 years happened, and now my house,
They're
my
talking about
actual
plywood.
house is rotten.
guys,
Plywood's
sheet,
$100 a sheet down here. $100.
but sheet metal is cheaper, y'all. Sheet metal is cheaper, right? So those places where the mice are coming in at, you put sheet metal over top of it. Remember how we used to cut out the lids of the can? Well, we used to cut out the lids of the cans, or snap the lids of the cans off and put them over holes, mice holes, right? I think sheet metal would be cheaper for you guys
Um, uh, yes.
in a way.
Disclaimer: these are New York City size rats.
Oh, so these some boss niggas.
Yes, they traumatized the F out of me, Sly. I thought I left New York City rats in New York City, and they're everywhere. They've
You get
destroyed between the free range cows that stomped over my stored stuff, destroyed that. The rats running. I was in a pop up camper because we were going to build this house. Well, I had to waste $600 on this camper because the rats were literally coming in with us.
they
Oh,
was hiding in your shit.
yes. And I ask God often, why did you send me here? And I know the answer comes swiftly. The answer comes very swiftly. And I know the reasons.
All right,
But
slowly but surely, listen, slowly but surely, you don't let it stress you out, right? You only get what you can afford, right? You don't let it stress you out about, oh, I gotta have this amount, right? You only get what
right,
you can afford. You start little at a time. You get you some steel wool, right? Start sticking steel wool in them holes. Where I'm talking about in your living area. Now you
right,
can't
right.
do nothing about the outside, but in your living area, you can always cut strip of sheet metal, put it down at the bottom of wherever they chewing holes in at. You know what I mean? Cover up those areas because they gonna get deterred with the steel wool. I'm talking about the real steel wool and the sheet
Right.
metal. They're not gonna want to be, you know what I mean? And if you got to put some shards of glass, in the steel wool, that shit
Yeah,
will
Dude,
steel wool
these
works
pack
real
rats,
good.
no, understand these pack rats, they packed our house with the dog shit, with
Mhm.
whatever we drop on the ground, glass, cans. I found a full-size snake I lifted the hood of my truck because it sat for a couple months before I got legit out here. The pack rats built a den, taking up the whole, I'm not exaggerating, the whole motor area from bottom to top. Got a pinion nut stuck in the accelerator. I'm going 80 plus miles an hour. I'm stomping on the brakes trying to get my truck to frickin' stop. And
Mm.
that's the moment I found out about what pack rats really do.
And the squirrels do it in Philly. The
No
squirrels,
way,
They
really.
do it in
the
Maine
squirrels,
too.
the squirrels be all up in your shit. I was wondering
Yeah.
why the squirrels all up under your tires and shit, right? They
Yeah.
be the ones that be chewing up your damn
Well, they
hoses and
go,
stuff.
they get attracted
Oh,
to
I'm
that
sorry.
heat of the
Hi,
motor.
Moosey. Hi, little Moosey.
Actually, the wires of the vehicle have
Uh-huh.
been changed from a plastic they didn't like to a petroleum-based plastic. So now it's drawing them in when they can't find food.
See,
Say hi.
that's that cheap shit. I mean, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Hi,
I
baby
apologize, Moose.
girl.
She's busy trying to eat the wipes.
Don't let her look. Don't hey Moose. Don't let her listen to DT, man. Don't let her listen to DT. DT said we could stay clean with peroxide. I mean, Clorox.
Oh, Jesus. I was like, DT. And as soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, for the love of Pete.
Yeah, for a second I had to be like, wait a second, DT. And then I was like, oh man, the bleach. Man, we don't drink bleach in my family.
We
Wait,
don't
wait,
got the
wait, wait,
DTs
wait.
here.
Because other people might have thought of some other things like nubs. Yo, hey,
But
hey, I gotta ask you a question. This is something that stayed on my mind after yesterday's stream with Canadian, right? Um, I look at, I look at, I don't look at like we were trained to separate race, right? We were taught to separate race, right?
That's a
We
fact,
were,
yes.
we were taught to separate each other, right?
I,
So,
I I mean, as a whole, we were, but like me, my mom. I mean, I grew up in a house, like a house together with everybody. So like, I'm so different when I think about this than other people, because I never got that. I didn't know what this was until high school. Once I got to high school, I still hung out. People called it Africa. People called the stoners. They called, the stoners over here, Africa over there, this over there. And I went from group to group because I never fit in with anybody. So like I think that was my problem too, is like nobody could really relate to me because they grew up seeing all this, stuff, and I was
separation,
blind to it.
Did
right?
that
They
pose
saw
a
the they were
conundrum
taught.
to you? Did that
Yup,
pose a conundrum for you to wrap your head around now going out into the world where people have been taught to do that? Like what did you think, Moose? I'm curious.
It scared the hell out of me, I tell you. It scared me because I didn't like growing up. I mean, I had everybody. Like everybody was family. We were all cool people on my street. Didn't matter what color you were, what where you came from. Like we shared food, we shared festivities. Like
yeah,
we had barbecues together, and it was like I didn't know. I didn't know there was nothing like that because we were all just poor. That's you
Yeah,
know.
right,
the
right, yes.
division, the division came from the adults. The division didn't come from us because we were innocent, right? We were pure, right? We loved
Yep.
everybody. We loved people because they was human beings, not because they were a certain race. And what I was trying to get at is when Patriots said that yesterday that the white race is diminishing, and I was like, huh? Like, how do you figure that? Like, you know what I
Did he
mean?
really say that yesterday?
Yeah, he believes that because there's more interracial relationships now that the white people are diminishing. And I'm like, but you're not a race. You're a human race. You're not a color race. You know what I
Right,
That's
but
what
mean?
I
I'm
was gonna
glad you
say. There's
said
only
that.
one race.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
glad you
part of a
said that,
human race.
Sly.
Huh?
I'm glad you said that because I was born and raised in Orange County, New York, which is about 2 hours north west of New York City. And I heard things like that in my childhood. Like I don't know, I don't even care about the teachers, but I think it was a teacher in middle or high school history, and they were talking about, one day their numbers are going to rise up, and I'm like, who's their? What is he talking about? He's talking about the ethnic people of America. They did fear 40, 30 years ago, because I'm 53, so 30 years ago I heard this shit. 40 years ago, God, I'm old. 40 years ago I heard this, that they did have a fear of the numbers equalizing. Let's put it a different way, equalizing, because then we would have the same amount of numbers they would when it comes to social constructs like voting and stuff like that. I
That's
see
why
that time as, go ahead.
yeah, I'm sorry, Mary. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's why they had to do the pandemic, right? For population control. help, you know what I mean, get that started. That's why they started killing everybody by any means necessary, right? But
I
you
want
think,
to I want to put proof out there of that. I want to put proof out there of that. Okay, so let's go back to January of 2020 when life was still hunky dory and everybody's golden, right? And all this talk started happening about what was going on. But then when they developed the Jing Jing, I'm going to use a different word, the Jing Jing. If you look at the commercials, you can see exactly who they were targeting. Let's break it down to they have an AIDS vaccination now or some kind of immunization. And when you look at the commercial, it
they
is
trying to get rid
so
of that stuff.
offensive.
I'm sorry, Mary. I mean to cut you off again,
Go
but
ahead. Go ahead.
they trying to get rid of that Pfizer vaccine that's left over that ain't nobody want to get. I mean that the right didn't want to get.
That they're now sending to what type of countries? Right?
Say it again, sweetheart.
That they're now sending to very specific countries they didn't want to help before.
They tested it over
Yes.
somewhere. You know that, right? Before the United States, right? They sent the missionaries to help test it.
Yes. Yes.
And they
Is it
didn't
okay
tell
if I
us
jump in?
numbers. They didn't tell us
Yes.
none of the numbers. None of the numbers. We didn't hear about none of it, right? Then all of a sudden we started getting these numbers in the United States. But wait a minute, you done tested it on people already. What happened to those numbers?
I want to be clear to everybody here that
Yes, sir.
my mother is 100%. She don't see it like that. My grandfather, however, moved in with us because he got really sick. He got a divorce. He was sick in the head, and that man was the most racist person. I do not talk to him to this day. He is the most racist person I have ever met in my entire life. So when you brought that back by asking me questions like when did I finally see it? Well, when he moved into the house and it was end this and end that and these ends and I was like, dude, I was blown away. I was blown away. And
He
then
was
I found
teaching the hate. He was preparing you to start hating the ninjas. He was
but it
And
was
I
preparing
feel
too
for you.
late. I had already been growing up in a place where I was told to love everybody, and I had not. It was too late for me. Like if my daughter right here was to hear stuff like that, she would grow up probably like that. But man, I lost my track. I was gonna
No,
say
you
something.
there. You there. You
Because
didn't
because
follow through
he
with this
I
shit.
think that he finally admitted to everybody that one of the women he fell in love with was a woman of darker complexion. And that was one thing that shocked the hell out of me. It reminded me of these politicians, the Republicans, that they're like,
So
oh,
you
we
ain't
can't have
supposed to
gay marriage and we can't have that. Then
allegedly.
what? Allegedly. Well, no, they came out later, and they're actually like they're married to men now.
You ain't
And
supposed to.
but the whole time they're in the closet and they were talking
Yeah.
bad about these people.
Do you
See,
know how
that's the thing. Hold on, guys. This is a social construct that I want to just point out to everyone
Yeah.
that this society has taught people to hide what it perceives as their darkest side. Okay, you get what I'm saying?
Oh
Society has
yeah.
taught
Definitely.
people to perceive their
That's why
own
they
selves
deleting
as
this.
negative and then hide that shit.
But look,
That's
that's why
like
they deleting YouTube channels now. You understand what I'm saying? They are deleting YouTube channels because of people like us are waking up. Right?
it's
They don't
true.
want us to wake up, man. They don't want us to communicate like this and tell the truth about what we see,
They
right?
don't want us to throw away our hatred. Our hatred is their biggest tool.
That's what they want us to do now. They want you to teach your children not to believe none of the past hatred. That's what this new thing about critical race theory and
Mhm.
stuff is.
Oh, I can't even. Oh, I
Yeah,
can't.
this
I
is what they
can't.
want
That's
to
not
do.
new though. That
I
whole
know.
concept is not new.
No, it's not. It
No,
comes from
in
freaking
public
Europe.
You
school,
can't go to that.
in grades kindergarten to 12, it's never been mentioned until the past 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
What I'm saying is the mentality, the understanding of, you take the children and you switch their education and then you take over. That's what I'm saying is not new.
Oh,
Oh
right.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
No, you're
Look,
right. Yes.
that started it. I believe you in that, Nubs, because I believe that started because one of my friends is a teacher, right? And he started getting real frustrated because he wasn't able to teach anymore. He had to follow the protocol,
Here's
right?
the
That's
thing,
why they
guys.
call it a
Yes. Yes.
curriculum.
But here's the split.
Yeah.
Right, but here's the split. Okay, so let's talk before America. Before America, there was all this prestigious crap happening in Europe and all those countries associated with it. And well, this. Let
Sure.
That
me
wasn't
finish my
me. That
train of
was
thought.
Graham.
Let me
Wait,
finish my
that was
train.
not me. That wasn't me, Mary. That was
No,
Graham.
it's okay. It's okay. Let me just finish my train of thought. So, coming over here, there weren't schools, not like their schools. But some of the first schools that developed outside of the colonies were the residential schools that indigenous children were forced into. I don't know if it was just indigenous children because the history record on that is so full of holes. But I think they realized then that that was the way to go. This is how we can manipulate people's minds is as children. And so the schooling system got adapted to be an American schooling system that doesn't teach. It only trains them.
So, to my knowledge, the school system that we have today is based off of the Prussian system that went into effect just before the Industrial Revolution. And basically, what they did is they were training workers how to be workers. They were getting people off of the farm and putting them into an industrial as opposed to an agricultural hunter-gatherer community. Basically, they have indoctrinated us with all these quote unquote facts and figures, and they've pitted the American people, or they pitted people against each other with this education thing. There's a big difference between education, wisdom, and knowledge.
Yeah.
They
Exactly.
do not give our children wisdom and knowledge. That is our jobs as parents. It is our job to make sure that our children know the difference between their propaganda and fact. It's a simple word called discernment. If our children do not have discernment, they will guaranteed to make the same mistakes. I got a shovel.
Shovel, man, shovel. Go
Thank
ahead,
you, Nubs.
Larry. I need a tissue. Damn it, this is a Larry moment.
Larry was gonna say something and now he's gone.
Who?
Larry was gonna say something. Oh, there he is. There's Larry. Okay, Larry.
This
Yeah.
is Larry's morning coffee show, and I feel like I don't hear from Larry at all anymore.
Man,
No,
Larry enjoy us. Larry
what I
enjoy
was-
us, man. I'm
what
telling
I
you,
was
he
gonna
don't
say
he
is
don't
I
have to talk
remember
much. You see, he almost fell asleep on us yesterday. He had to kick us out the coffee shop and shit.
What?
what I was gonna say is when I grew up, I never really saw like color. I just saw a person, and if I bonded with them, I bonded with them. And then it seemed like in the mid '60s, I started hearing about all these. Oh, we gotta hate these people that aren't white, and this and that and the other thing. They started that turmoil between us, and
That's because of the civil rights. Yup.
by the early '70s, almost every day in Seattle we had racial wars, and all these people would go and beat each other up, and I always think, why in the fuck are we fighting against each other? This ain't solving nothing, this ain't curing nothing. But they
You was
caused
indoctrinated. You was
right, they caused
indoctrinated.
that turmoil between us, so they made us feel like, oh, we had to be at odds, and it was all part of their fucking plan. And I never saw, no reason in it. Even when I went to jail, they in the early '70s or late '70s, they did the same thing. We had a big day room, and on one side was the black side, and the other side was the white side, and they always kept us apart until we went in the day room so we could butt heads. You
Yup.
know, cause that turmoil. So we didn't see what they were doing. They want to keep that turmoil going. So all we see is the turmoil. We don't see what the fuck they're doing.
And
Well,
look what
here's the thing. There's a big thing at the end for them. And what's at the end for them
division.
are zombie people
Right, right.
that don't think or act for themselves. You know, they do what they're told. And see, I had it even younger than you guys. So I was born, and before I was born, my father got with my mother. My father's family, which apparently he was in touch with, hated him and disowned him for taking a white woman. And the mother's family, my mother's family, were kind of like closet racist. That's the only word I can use is closet racist, because I'm half. But to help them feel better, they would consider me white so they could tell their black jokes, right? That's happened to me so many freaking times, and people don't even understand how offensive it is to me, because to be a Puerto Rican, you're Spanish, black, and indigenous. So,
That race separation thing, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
absolutely.
talking
And
about. Yeah.
And that's
constantly being beat over the head. Well,
I'm
it's
sorry.
here's the thing: when you have generation after generation believing the indoctrination, they start behaving that way. So yeah, one side, my father's side, just beat the hell out of us. I don't know why.
Mhm.
There is no reasoning with what he did. He did the best he could with what he had. Damn, didn't have anything then. You know what I'm saying? And the same with my mother with the mental and emotional abuse. I'm
All right,
coming
so
out like I want to talk to the healthy people.
look, that's what they had. Remember, you said they didn't have anything. They had mental and all of that kind of abuse all going up on in here, taking that shit out on you, teaching you that behavior, right? And then you grow up thinking that's how you should treat your children, right? Then they get, you know what I mean?
Hey,
You have to be good to serve them.
my husband asked my brother one day about his faith. And then we asked him if he believed in miracles. And he
Mhm.
didn't know. So I said, listen, I'm just going to tell you this little story. Statistics say, number one, let me backwards. A miracle in my mind is something that happens outside the control of human beings. So it could only come from above in my mind. Okay. Saying that,
I'm
statistics,
sorry. I'm a
no,
witness.
you're okay. You're okay. So saying that, I learned in college statistics, and statistics say that when um, you have abused children, 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5 go on to abuse. So I say to my brother, we're 3 abused children. You chose not to have children so that you didn't abuse them. My other brother had children, and he was kind of on the fence kind of guy. But me, I went balls to the wall. I need to find out what a good mom is. I need to find out what I'm supposed to be doing and saying and
You had to
thinking.
try it, huh?
Right. And I'm like, Joe, sorry, I used his name, but I don't think he's online. Um, the, the statistics say 3 out of 5. That means one of us is supposed to be an abuser, and we're not. That is God. That is the miracles that He can perform when you live with a faith, not a religion, not a practice. I knew none of that as a child. I knew in something above, and I knew that something above was going to help me live.
I'm an example, Mary. Look who you met. Look, I'm an example. You and my mother name was Mary. Look at who you met. Look.
And you knew the path they wanted you to walk. You knew, and I just want to utter this because maybe no one's told you, Sly, because you got healthy. You started getting healthy at a very young age. You did not waste your whole life on it. To me, that is the miracle too, because something within you knew you were indoctrinated, but you were more important than the indoctrination that you learned.
And that's
Yeah.
because I think because of I heard the stress. I mean, I saw what my mother went through, right? And I pinpointed when she started going through it when the war was over in the 60s, when my
Yep,
dad,
yep.
right? That's when
Mhm.
she started changing because that H came into play, right?
Mhm.
Then she moved on in her life in early 70s. The speed came in her play. I don't know
Mhm.
what war. I don't know. Look, I don't know what war brought that over, but she got into the speed thing, right?
Right.
Then um she went back to the H thing. It was like a back and forth thing with her, and her mind was always messed up, and I paid attention to that, right? I
Mhm.
remember when she used to, I don't know if she had shrooms or not, but she used to talk to her belly button. I just went along with it. I just thought she was crazy. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
I learned this at a young age by paying attention. She used to always beat that in my head. Pay attention. Pay attention. I don't want to have to keep repeating myself, but repeating yourself, you hearing it repetitiously will help you remember, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
when if you hear somebody looping, sometimes a looping thing can be in a good way, but when you looping and don't make no freaking sense,
Well, if
they
you're looping around the same circle, you're really not going anywhere either.
exactly what my point.
Larry wants to say something, Sly.
And I want to
Wait.
say, well, too, I think we get the powers above interject us sometimes in situations that we don't even realize that we're in that situation. And I want to talk about something. I got interjected with this young man when he was 15 years old, and I didn't realize it at the time that I was put there for a reason. But he was 15 years old and he was taking care of his dad because his dad lost both his legs due to diabetes.
Mm.
So here's this 15-year-old man having to take care of his dad that they used to go fishing and hunting and all this stuff with. They had a really big, good bond, and now he's having to, shower him, you know, wipe his butt and all this other stuff. And so he got involved in drinking really bad. And I met him on the CB radio, and his handle on the CB radio was Snake Vomit. So that should just kind of tell you something right there. But anyway, I started teaching him how to work on cars and shit because I bought a lot of auction cars back then. And today he owns his own shop on Highway 99 in Seattle, and he's had it for like over 20 years now, a thriving business. And I just got to look, hey, I changed that man's life for the better. I was interjected in that man's life when he needed, some stability, some kind of, leader, some kind of, you know, person to admire and grab a skill and use it for his benefit. And it took me a really long time to realize, that I just thought I was just, just meeting another buddy or whatever. But then I realized later in life that no, I was put there for a reason. And
And God was talking through you. Like a lot of
yeah,
times when I have to confront a certain situation and I don't know what to say and I'm feeling angst about it because I don't want to piss people off, I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say, God. Talk
yeah,
through me. Use me as the vessel to talk through because I'm a mere human being compared to God.
right.
So I just ask, and sometimes I've affected people positively when I do say that before I speak, and then when I don't say it, I don't affect them positively because I'm not utilizing the great above.
Right. Boy, it sure is sunny over there, Mary. I wish we had that much. It's still dark here. It's almost 7 o'clock and it's still black.
It's just the sun bouncing off all the snow.
Oh, Yeah, it's
That's
still dark here.
that is God shining in the window, watching over Mary. Stop playing.
Here we
Amen.
go. Watching over us, huh?
That's God.
Amen. I
Oh
want
wait,
to be there.
Mary. Look,
Yeah.
I agree with what you said, right? Because even at a young age with the religion thing, right? Man, I mean, I was forced to go to church. I was forced to get on the choir. I was forced to. Then when I found out about that tithing thing, and then I seen the way the preacher was living and the cars, the fancy suits, and I'm like, yo, this ain't about God.
Dude, I was 15 years old when I found out. I told you I investigated all those churches. I was 15 in this specific church when I found out, hey, they're not great buddies. The pastor and the music director were lovers. And this is
Huh.
back in 1984, 1985.
Wait, girl, stop playing. Wait, let me give you some tea. Let me give you some tea. So while my pastor was sleeping, my pastor had a beautiful wife. He chose to sleep with somebody on the damn choir.
Yeah.
And at the church, yo, we found out that they was getting a divorce at the church.
Oh my God. And see,
And
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think their programming took account on people giving into their biological ways. Like, they definitely didn't account for these priests to go off topic. You know what I'm saying?
they don't care, babe. Those people, it didn't care as long as because we don't know if they was recording, right? We don't
Yeah.
know if somebody was paying the pastor to plug up a system so we can hear y'all business. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yep.
So they might have been indoctrinated to be a part of the plan as well.
Right.
How about I saw a documentary. They said they got what you call them, telescopes up in the dome of all the Catholic churches, because they the ones that study the stars and the moon.
Did you know that the telescope financially supported by the Catholic Church is called Lucifer?
That's what they saying, Mary. See, I pay attention. I told y'all I don't read. I'm serious to you, right? But
Right.
I really do. I think about shit. I think shit and they used to call me a conspiracy theorist, right? But I say, no, you just gotta pay attention to shit, right? You gotta see how so often it happens, how it happens almost the same way. You know what I mean? They just try to change up the characters and the play
Yeah.
of it.
I'm in college, right? And I'm forced to take certain classes. So I'm in this business class. And I had never experimented in my youth. So I was doing some in my 20s, And I took a hit of acid, and my girlfriend didn't tell me how long it lasted. And I had to go to college the very next morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm in business class, and this woman is like dressed to the nines because we're not far outside New York City, and she kept bringing up like her work in New York City, and me like after smoking and doing all that the night before, I'm like, hey, I got a question for you. And she's like, she always looked forward to my questions because they very interesting questions, but all I said was, if your life was so great in New York, what the hell are you doing here?
Can I tell you something? Let me tell you why your questions was always exciting to her.
Go ahead.
She just came straight to school from the club, and you was keeping her ass up.
Oh, he said that's so right. She stopped me after class, like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I was just
I
curious."
gotta know, Moose. Is that a snuggie you got on?
I was
It's
looking at it.
close. It's close,
You
man.
didn't answer the question though. Is that a snuggie or is that a robe?
No, I mean it's not a snug. It's like it's not a snuggie, but it's
You win.
it's
Hey,
a thing that you throw it over your. It's like a blanket, man.
It's a man's shawl.
Yeah.
It's a shawl, bruh.
I'm gonna have to tell you to take that off, man, because you'll be
Man,
all.
it's cold out here. It's
Wait.
cold. All right, here we
Listen,
gotta have a
somebody
Manly's.
gonna
All
put
right,
your
here we go.
ass up. Somebody gonna put your ass up with some
There
makeup.
you go. There you go,
Man, I
Moose.
don't
Push that
care.
chest out.
Man, I'm
Turn
cold.
that heat up,
I
damn
ain't
it.
trying to be all fucking cold. All right.
All right, put your sweater back on, man. Put your sweater back
Man.
on.
That's freaking
So
funny.
hey, on my way down here, I had a jacket, nice snow jacket, and somehow, some way, that snow jacket it had my Leatherman in it, like $100 tool. Well, they both went missing, and so
Oh,
now I don't have a jacket. All I got is thermals, and the
So where were
thermals
you
ain't working.
at? Was you at the
Yo,
brewery? Was you at the brewery?
No, 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 no. I mean, I went yesterday, but that was for a pizza. But no,
No.
it was driving from it was driving through Mexico. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know when it like went missing. I know like the day it went missing, but I don't know how it escaped my car. I don't know what happened to it.
it
Wait,
ran
yo,
away from you.
I got
I
a
yo.
story.
wasn't drinking.
I got a
No,
story.
wait.
Wait.
Before you say that, Sly, I want to hear your story, but I just want to interject this because it just hit me like a brick.
Okay.
Sometimes the opposing energy will make things go missing. So and your most valued tool. So I had this Bible that I had for like 10 years. All sorts of, I mean, really important passages, like the one that says, "What man has touched has error." Like I had written that one down. And in modern Bibles, I couldn't find it. So I was like, okay, I got my Bible. When I unpack it, I'll get it out. I know exactly when it went missing. And I think I know who even took it. But the point is, the negative of the world will take your most valuable tools at times, and now you're cooking without a spoon. So you have, I think it maybe in a way it could be God's way to make us figure out how to do these things without certain tools, because they're not always there, they're not always available, as you're saying, Miss.
All right. Can I mess with you for a minute?
Yeah.
All right. So tell the truth. Did you get pulled over? Look, wait, Moose, wait. I'm gonna finish. All right. So did you get pulled over, right? And then they said, "Have you been drinking? We smell marijuana." And you was like, "No, man, no, I quit. I'm 9 months sober. I got my coin." Oh, wait, Moose. Don't say nothing. I got my coin. Listen, I call my sponsor. I'm on the 12th step. Wait, Moose, wait, I got more. So you said, so when you said, so what do you want me to do? And they said, step out of the car, sir. They put their hand on your arm and they twisted a little bit. You said, and they said, Moose, did you sneeze? wait. So are you frozen or are you listening?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. You ain't laughed not one time, nigga. I'm just
I did. I'm trying to be quiet, trying to be respectful. Hear this crap.
I don't want to be stepping on your toes and then I'm just having some fun with you right now, all right?
I know.
All right. Because look, if I start getting to, let me know. Because I'll back the fuck off. Right? But anyway, so they twisted your little arm and you said, and they said, Moose, did you sneeze? And you said, no, sir. And they drug your little ass out the car. They went over to little Moosey and they said, where's your ID? And little Moosey said, Jimmy. I don't answer questions. That was translation of what little Moosey said. Little Moosey said, I don't answer questions, right? So then they went to Wifey and they asked Wifey where her ID was. And she said, God damn, I should have started listening to that boy when he told me to. Then I would know what to say. Damn it. And she done gave up her ID. She done got out the car. She's standing on the side of the road with little Moosey. They got you in handcuffs, making you sneeze. And somebody's searching in your car and they stole your jacket and shit, right? To try to make things difficult for you. That's all. that's just where my mind went. That was
I hear
Yeah,
you, but that all happened like this is all reversed and like this is all like because I never joined AA till I got down here, and you do get pulled over. You get pulled over 5 times. You don't get pulled over. There's 5 checkpoints from the border down here, and
5.
yeah, there's 5.
Damn.
You're going through a different province or whatever, and
babe.
so
No, you're not supposed to travel from point A to point B, man, without them stopping and checking and making sure you ain't bringing shit from Mexico to the United States or wherever you traveling to. They want to make
yeah.
sure you're smuggling the drugs. You know how you Mexicans are. You're smuggling the drugs. You're stealing the women. You know what I mean? Somebody DT already said it about you Mexicans.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of blew my mind because I got here. It's nowhere to be found. I know exactly like the day that I lost it, and
Mhm.
and I didn't have I took it off of me and I put it in the back seat, and so it just I don't know blew my mind. It's a good snow jacket, and so it kind of pissed me off, and it was a good tool. I've been using it for everything,
It's
like
just
anything I need to fix. But
it's
that's
the
like Mary said, it's the universe telling me to find different ways to do things.
but not
Maybe I
only
didn't need it.
Yeah, not only that, it's the devil, baby. It's the devil that wants you to say, frick it, I can't take this shit, right? Let me go get you understand what I'm saying? Let me go medicate my mind so won't think like this. That's all it is.
if you think about the things you've been through in life and ask yourself, um, was that a righteous experience or was that a premeditated trigger experience? Because I'll find some people will say things just to piss people off. Like they just really have such a lack of humanity that they'll use them nefarious words. I had a woman tell me because she grew up in the ghetto. She was the cute little white girl that she could go on any corner she wanted and say the N word as much as she wanted. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm a bi-ethnic person. First of all, you silly little bitch. And second of all, you really have the entitlement to think that you can walk around this earth and say what you want, regardless of how it makes other people feel.
DT told her she can do that.
Shoot.
DT said I could go in the middle of so and so and so and so and shoot somebody and won't nothing happen to me.
You're funny as shit because that's who she was, a DT person.
I'm already telling you, man. This like my boy yesterday was saying about the whites being decreased, and it's more mixture of people, races, and all of this, right? And I'm like, but that's the way God intended it to be. God intended for us to love each other and not be separated, right? And just because I have a darker skin tone, that's because my ancestors came from that. What do you call it? What's the word, Moose?
Equator.
Mother Africa.
Geographical area, right?
Oh, yes. Okay, yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if your skin is lighter, that's because your ancestors came from this part of the no sun.
Right.
Just saying, right? But that
Yeah.
doesn't say, well, we're diminishing, right? That just says that we're going to have a different strand of hybrids, basically. You know what I mean? In the future.
Well, let's
Right.
remember this thought just popped into my head. Let's remember that for us, it started with colonization. But in Europe, they've been getting indoctrinated. So we can't assume that the indoctrination started here. So if we put it through the filter of they've been indoctrinated too, then they've been made to be guilty of these behaviors by way of complying with the boss or the boss's boss or the boss's boss's boss.
Yeah, but see, that's what the indoctrination started way before the United States, right? We already know they came to the United States to take over so they can start their own thing.
Yes.
Right? I was trying to tell a Canadian yesterday that when people came to America, they weren't you know what I mean? They weren't American.
Right.
They came from other countries and changed their names to white American names.
Yes.
So they became white Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there is no races diminishing, or if that's the case, they trying to kill us by any means necessary.
All
right.
of us.
Yes. And actually us means non-compliant. Us means at the bottom of the totem pole. Us means the ones that they deem not worthy, right? So that us really entitles a lot of people to be in that category.
All the senior citizens, not just white ones and black ones. We talking about all senior citizens, right? We're talking about anybody that's obese, high blood pressure, sugar, diabetes, and most likely they cite us into believing, Mary, and that's the truth though, they cite us into believing we have all those defects. Right?
Yes, that's a fact. I mean, I moved out here having to tell myself, you have a healthy body. You know what I'm saying? None of their tests prove you didn't have a healthy body. So don't filter what they say through the truth filter. You know what I'm saying?
And I kept saying they ain't telling me how to live. Hell with them.
Me and my husband call them the T people. And that's anybody from the system or manipulation falls into that category of T people.
People would ask me, well, what do you mean by them, Sly Shy? They, them. That means the damn system, the government, whoever runs you, whoever thinks they control you. That's them. That's they. I don't mess with
Sly.
Yes.
Do you know what the word or where the word government came from?
I haven't researched it.
It's from the Latin governmentos. It means to govern one's mind. So anybody that's looking to control your mind would be part of the government.
That makes a lot of sense.
It sure do now. See, everything keeps adding up, right? I mean, I figured them govern, even the word govern meant that they were governing the people. They were controlling the people. That's kind of what I even thought.
You are all wrong. This is
They took Larry over, guys.
They have not.
Wait, database speaking.
We are all perfect in our own ways.
Is that Mr. Rod? I mean, wait, what was that show, Nubs? Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, man.
Are you talking about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
No, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, Space Odyssey.
No, not Space Odyssey.
Space Odyssey. Danger Will Robinson. They
Yes.
Lost in Space.
Lost in Space.
Yes, Larry. Yo, you did it. You just did the robot, yo.
Yeah.
They made a remake of that one, and my son and I watched it on Netflix.
Danger.
Yeah, they did. They really did make a new one on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good too.
That's not too bad.
And if you're able to see signs and symbols and stuff, and when you're watching videos and whatnot, you'll see lots of signs and symbols in that one.
Oh yeah.
And see, I had Netflix for a while, but their signs and symbols turned into toddler beauty pageants, and I could not handle that. I could not
Oh
support
yeah.
putting toddlers in any way in that situation. I got so freaking mad. I told my husband, get rid of the subscription. If this is how they're going to make their money, they're not going to make it off us.
Listen, even I seen these little kids that they be having on TikTok and stuff, and I be like, yo, ain't no little kid, no baby should be in makeup and in no sexy clothes, doing no sexy dances. And then when our ass turned 13, you wonder why she up in some grown man's face.
Yes. Introducing, this is my problem. Okay, so my daughter never had questions before we moved to Colorado. And one of her friends, who is not of great mental health, introduced all these questions. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, what teenagers go through, what I am, what I not am. Okay. And she used to get super offended by my opinion. And I tried explaining to her in the most loving way possible that first we must accept us for what we are, how we are, who we are. Like, live within your body, know your body before you try to go out and make decisions that aren't even for you.
But how do you know though? How do you know they wasn't for her?
Because her behavior changed so negatively that, I mean, it was a giant shock. Everyone in the family agreed, everyone. But we allowed her to think through her questions. We didn't put any constraints on her, only physical. You will not talk about changing your body at this point with me. Like, I won't allow that conversation to happen. We could talk about other things and how you feel.
Until you 18, your ass don't make no decision until you out of my house. And if you out of my house, you still don't make no damn decisions, right?
Absolutely.
Until you can start paying bills. If you paying bills, you can make some decisions, right? But if you're 18, you can't do that. And I heard a young man tell me, he told his girlfriend to not listen, to not let her father talk to her like that. And I said, the hell, why not? That's her father. He should stay in her ass.
That's her covering.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I told my daughter. I have the umbrella over you. I know what's dangerous. I've been parenting for 30 years at this point. Don't act like I'm pointing you down a negative road. I'm saying stand still. Look at who's saying these things to you. Take that into account when you're trying to absorb what they're saying.
Mary, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it to get them to listen.
It's how you do it.
Nubs pointed out to me a few mistakes I was making today, and I absolutely understand how I was playing into their hand. You know what I'm saying, as a parent. But I know my daughter knows for a fact that my love has no society in it. My love does not have that condemnation type of judgment. You know, I don't say my love is all, because those things are included, but I wanted her to know, don't include those things. I don't have a condemnation kind of love. I have a pure love.
Now, and I don't mean, go ahead. I'm sorry. Let me say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Let me say this real quick if I lose my thought. I don't mean that you can't, right. All right. So what I had to learn once I turned 18 and was on my own, I had to learn to be that way, right? And I thank God for the experiences I had, but I also missed having a mother to tell me the things I needed to know, right? And I commend you on that, you know, of letting her know, like, you don't have to walk down these footsteps, right? But I saw my mom walk down those footsteps. I didn't want to walk down those footsteps, but I ended up in those same footsteps. Because I had to go through my own growing process. But this was after I was 18, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
This wasn't before. Like, I used to sneak and smoke some weed and drink some wine, right? But that's what every teenager did, I think. Maybe not Nubs. Maybe
I didn't do it either. I was too deathly afraid of pissing off the perpetrators to do such things.
See, listen. My aunt, I don't know. I came from a line of people that just did things, smoked marijuana, did drugs. You know what I mean? Drank. I mean, that's all that was going
That
on,
was your
Larry. I tell you,
environment.
that's all that was going on in the 60s and 70s, man. And look, when I in the 80s is when I started experimenting on my own. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's all I was around. My mom had parties every weekend.
Right, right.
You know, one of the things that or what I was going to say is the things that I teach my son. I don't teach him the basics. I teach him I do teach him the basics. I teach him the principles before I teach him the basics.
Mm.
One of the things that he used to do is he used to flop on the floor like a fish when he was like 2 or 3, 4 or 5. You know, he doesn't do it anymore. He's a young man now. However, when he used to do that, I used to sit down with him and I used to change his wording because he would go from a complaining state to, all right, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this Dad's way. And if we're going to complain, we're going to complain and we're going to say, I am love, I am joy, I am peace, I am patience, I am kindness, I am goodness, I am faithfulness, I am gentleness, I am long suffering, and I am self-control.
You
And
want to remember all of that?
absolutely. And you know what? My son, when he gets upset, when he gets out of his norm per se, he goes to that. He says those things. He says, I am love, I am joy. And it reminds him who he really is, as opposed to the feelings that he's feeling at that current moment. Because
Yes, that's
feelings
where,
are
yes.
deceiving because they're in our face.
Right, right, right.
You know, and the other thing that I did is I've taught him how to love by doing just that. I don't tell him that I love him without showing him my love for him. And he knows what love is because I teach him that love is patient and love is kind and love is gentle and it is not self-loathing, it is not envious, and it never fails.
Yes,
That
yes.
does
Yeah.
not mean it's easy. That
Right,
means
that's
it
it.
never
Yeah.
fails.
Right.
And that's the
You know,
way I feel within myself, Nubs. I thank you for saying it because that's the way I learned how to live, man. You know what I mean? I can't let nothing get me down. I can't let nothing hold me down, keep me down. You know what I mean? Even the people around me, I want you to be uplifted. I don't want you to be down. And I don't know if that's a fault of mine, but it's just a good feeling to always hear the joy in people.
No, I don't think it's a fault. And that's why I'm here today because yes, I suffered madness yesterday in a minute, but that's not who I am as a whole. I know how to come back from those things. You know, Head Moose, were you gonna say something?
Oh no, I'm actually I'm doing my step 1 right now.
Oh,
I'm just
gotcha.
writing down
Sorry.
everything. But I'm
Wait,
listening to you
excuse me.
guys.
I'm sorry. Excuse me, y'all. Please, can I interject right here? Oh, you doing your step 1?
Yes.
Oh shit, Moosey, you need to maybe you might want to go ahead and just because you need your thoughts right now, right?
Can I?
And
I
you don't
need to
even
tell
miss
Moose
one.
something though.
Yes.
I need to tell Moose something because it's a mistake we all make. We do
Mhm.
not forgive ourselves. These some things are mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And it might seem like I'm purple yesterday, but realizing the mistake I made, I'm not purple today. You know, so I was mad yesterday and I realized the mistake I made. And so I come back and do it better another time.
But listen, guess what happened though, Mary? I understood you because it wasn't just that triggered you. You already was in an emotional state because you said every freaking thing is happening today, right? Hello, Mary.
I'm thinking. No, I'm thinking. I'm not
Remember,
frozen.
remember yesterday when you came up, you said everything's happening. This is happening. That's happening. I got a foot of snow, right? So you was
Oh, that
already
was, you took it wrong. That was not a complaint. I love
no,
snow. Like
no,
more.
no, no. I'm not saying it was a complaint. I'm saying that that's how you was feeling already. You already was dealing with
Well,
bullshit,
okay, so you're right in a way. So in the way you're right is that I
and you ain't
have been,
my bullshit.
listen, well, in a way, like I'm tired of the dissension when people say their motive is to talk about solutions or figuring it out. There's so much dissension that I have had to walk away, verbally just get it out of my body so that I could think clearly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
But
we
did
all
you
run into
understand?
cult members. We all run into narcissistic people. We all run into selfish people. We all run into all these different types of people. But I
Right.
am tired of focusing on that. I
All right.
want to start conversations on this is how I got out of the city, or this is how I make, growing in a non growing environment work. Like, I want to start talking these things.
All right, so that's and now I want to explain to you kind of that's what I was feeling from you, right? And but see, when you got upset, you said all of us need to, and then I was like, well, it ain't us, really, it's her.
But it ain't just me. We are all in this problem together. That's my
No, no,
point.
no. I'm sorry, but see, what I'm talking about yesterday when you got upset is because you kept hearing that over everybody and nobody else could say anything. And you got tired of that shit. And you was like, listen, stop wilding and let's talk about some positive shit.
I mean, sometimes I can't help it. It comes flying out my mouth because I get exasperated. I
But
get
baby,
exasperated.
I paid attention to you. That's why I didn't want you to be upset with me because I saw it. I knew exactly where you was coming from. But you thought that I was taking it personal, but I kind of was taking it a little personal because I'm like, it ain't me, it ain't him, it ain't him, it's her.
Yeah, but it's the whole point, Sly, and that's why I got upset. I don't like when people take a word out of a point
I
because
knew
then you're
your point.
missing the whole point.
No, I knew your point. I understood your point, babe. I did understand your point. Trust me. I
Okay,
pay
well that's
attention.
where you weren't. You said you agreed, but that doesn't. You can say you agree 100 times and they'll still not put forth the thought of understanding. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do understand. I really do. I thought about it yesterday. I didn't just pass you off and not think about
No,
you.
I'm saying that didn't come across to me when someone says I 100% agree. They can 100% agree and still not comprehend everything, is what I was saying. So I thought with your question on, hey, I'm not part of we, that maybe you weren't comprehending, because I was talking fast, because I do
No, no,
that.
I did. That's what I just explained. I did get in my feelings when you said we, even if you wasn't really talking about me, but I got
Right,
in my feelings. That's what I
right.
was saying. But and then when I thought about it, I said she wasn't, she got upset at me because I reacted instead of sitting back and just let you blow off, right? And I reacted and I shouldn't have reacted and let you get your shit off because I reacted and I shouldn't have did that.
I'm co-
But but sometimes I defend myself because I'm like, listen, I'm where you at. I don't want to
Right,
keep
right,
hearing the same shit over and over and over again. You know what I
right.
mean? But then
Yes,
when you were
yes.
saying, well, everybody's talking over, and then I was like, no, that's her.
No, I had just seen a stream that I was unfamiliar with this week, and it was like being in that situation again, where everyone was yelling over each other, and I just couldn't. Like, I quickly got out of that. Like,
But we wasn't. She was talking over all of us every time we said something. Even
right,
Canadian had to tell her to be quiet.
right. And I think that it's the 1 second, Larry. Larry wants to talk after me, guys, but I just want to say this one thing. I think a lot of stuff is lost in translation, is lost in assumptions. She's talking from another country, and I don't see anything wrong with that. We're talking from another country. Both
Oh,
people in both countries saw way different things, you know, and I mean, if I were in my homeland, okay, let me just put it this way. If I were in my homelands and I'm talking from someone in another land, I would feel wrongfully self righteous about my knowledge because it come from that one place and I knew I could confirm that and blah 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 blah. But what I'm
oh,
doing in that is not considering that the other person I'm speaking to, number one, doesn't know the ins and outs of that other country, and number two, have a whole different perspective.
And it's not always the story sometimes comes from not always a sober mind. You got to remember that every time that story is told, it's told because they still have some work to do, right? They haven't
Oh,
done
I
any work.
absolutely agree with, yeah, and we all have work to do, and some at this
oh,
point, some is bigger than others. You know, I've had my big moments as well.
Right.
There wasn't internet then. Thank the loving God there wasn't internet when I was younger. Because I was an idiot. I was doing everything that this preconceived notion society wanted me to do, and then when I realized I was falling into that voluntarily being one of their
Is
oh.
Larry,
preconceived notions,
I'm
I
sorry, Mary.
blamed
Is
myself.
Larry crying? Is Larry crying? I just want to know. Is Larry crying
Well,
again?
we're too big mouths, so let's shut up so
No,
Larry
no,
can
no,
talk.
no. He's crying because he's feeling us. It's not, he's not crying because he's upset about anything. He's crying because he emotionally loves what he has right now. He has real
What
people
just
on his team.
happened? What just happened right here today? This is why I love you guys so much.
This is why I love you so much,
I
man.
love you too,
You ain't
Larry.
you not afraid to let your
Oh my
emotions out.
God.
You're not afraid to be real. You're not afraid to appreciate love. You're not afraid to appreciate just, you don't even have to say nothing. Just sitting there listening is like a blessing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So hard though sometimes.
I know, I know. You're just an emotional guy. It's all right though, Larry. It's all
Oh
right,
my
man.
God.
Listen, I hope more people start hanging out with us and just listening to our real talk, man. You know what I mean? We got Moose up here writing his first step. You know what I mean? I hope he got his earplugs in. I hope I ain't distracting his ass.
That was
I'm
funny.
proud of
Yeah,
you,
I
Moose.
Mary,
get the same stuff being from New York. I'm loud, I'm boisterous. People tell me to shush all the time. And I hate that it's a part of my personality, but god damn it, it's a part of my personality.
See, Mary, and look, and there's nothing wrong with being a strong-minded, strong-willed person like I am, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's
Yep.
why I respect you. That's why I respect you and try to understand you because you have your way of thinking, your way of living, or whatever, whatever, right? And I have my way, right?
Oh my
And the
God.
thing that we can come together and still express each other's feelings or whatever and be okay. That's why Larry is up there crying.
Yes. And it has to, I'm so glad you said that, Sly, because one of the reasons why I dropped this friend I had here is because she thought it was a ridiculous notion for humans to talk about human things that we all experience. Luckily, I was on the phone with her, but I wanted to look at her like she had 10 heads. What do you mean? I can't talk to other humans about human things that we all experience. That doesn't make sense.
They told me that. They told me I need to stay. I don't need to be telling no man what they should be doing. Like I got this one guy in my neighborhood that we've been ever since I've been around here. I've known his situation, but I always show him love. He always respect me, show me love up until the day, you know what I mean? And I always give him encouraging words and stuff like that. And they was like, he don't be paying you no mind. And I said, listen, he sees the way I walk. He listens to the way I talk, right? And he respects me. This man will do anything for me, even though I don't ask him to, and I don't even look for nothing from him, right? I've never
Mhm.
asked him to do anything for me, but I've always showed him kindness and love and let them know there's a better way. You know what I mean? Never stopped and preached to them. What I told them was, I'm tired of you seeing you all fucked up, beat up,
Yeah,
sleeping in the pool. You know what I mean? I said
yeah,
shit to hit his nerve. You know, you sleeping in the damn cold. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
stuff like that. So, you know, and every time I see him, it's nothing but love. He'll go away, stay away for a few months, get himself together, but then he's back around people, places, and things. And then as soon as he
No,
start hanging around people, places, and things, oh, excuse me, Moose. I'm sorry, am I too loud? Am I too loud?
no,
I'm
but I'm
just
glad you mentioned people, places, and things. So
wait.
there's only
I got
one thing I want to ask of Moose as you're doing your stuff.
wait.
Can you
I
can
got
you
some more,
just
Mary.
change
Wait a
the
minute.
words? Yeah,
Wait a minute,
listen, let
Mary.
me finish. I know, but I need to finish too. Change the words to something different. Still mean the people, places, and things, but maybe use different words so that you're not indoctrinating yourself while you're going through this. You can say no all day long, Sly, but my point with Moose is change the words so you're healing in your way, not the way this creation has you healing. Like I like the thoughts of AA, but it's a general statement, and if you personalize it with yourself and you kind of own your healing, I just feel like it would go better.
Can
I
I say it
appreciate
now,
that. I'm
Mary?
listening. I'll be right back.
Can I
Okay.
say it now, Mary?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that to Moose because he's in the middle of doing something,
I
and I
know.
want him to
And
love himself through it.
I was on that first step too, babe. I was, and you just cut me off. But
Sorry,
listen,
the thought
that's
popped
okay.
into my head that maybe Moose needed to hear it in that exact moment.
But
That yes, the process, but
let
change
me
the
explain.
word.
Let me explain something to you, babe. I had to hear these things repetitiously so I can stop doing them, right? If I didn't hear them repetitiously, people, places, and things, I kept going around them thinking it was okay. Then I would
Right?
have
No,
ended,
I understand
ended
that.
up
I
living,
understand what
right?
you're
So,
saying.
so that's in the book. That's in the program. He has to follow a program right now because he was not following a
What
program.
I'm not saying not follow the program. You're misunderstanding me. I'm
No,
saying use
no,
the words.
I heard you. I heard you. Stop saying I'm misunderstanding you. I do understand you when I hear you. I swear I do. Right?
Right,
But
but peoples and places and things might work for you, and you
okay,
own them. What I'm saying
no,
with Moose is,
no, I learned it in the
okay,
program. I learned it in the program. I didn't
I
learn it
understand. I
right?
understand. I know what the program is. I've researched it myself. It is a very general program,
But
and
you gotta
if
live it
you
though, Mary. You gotta live
what
it. You gotta live it. You right? I didn't
it's
know how to
still a
live without
general
breathing.
program. When
Please,
No,
people give me a cookie cutter and tell me that's the only cookie cutter I can use, I'm going to beg to differ.
right? I understand. I do understand. I'm not disagreeing that you don't know what you're talking about. I'm just sharing my experience, strength, and hope with the word people, places, and things. Until I kept hearing it, I had to keep hearing people, places, and things to keep me away from them. Right?
Right, of course.
If I change the word to my understanding, I'll keep going around people, places, and things. I'll keep being in the places I want to be because I changed the words, right? So if I follow a program, right? If I follow that program and I followed it for 8 years and I stayed away from people, places, and things, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke because I stayed away from those people, places, and things, right? And that's what I had to. And you're right, it is an indoctrination, but it's an indoctrination to keep you moving, getting better, and getting and being a better person. It's not
So
a.
you're the diamond shot Sly in this situation. You're the diamond that was able to make it work so that you could stay off it. But this
So I
program,
can't share my
no, let
experience
me
with
finish.
you.
Let me finish. This program has such a high turnover rate that I
So
question
what?
its what?
So what? You think for yourself. I thought for myself. I didn't go back. So what? It had a high rate.
We're talking about a program made for these
It's still for the
indoctrinated
individual.
people.
It's still for the
You're doing
individual.
it again,
Baby.
Sly.
Huh? You're
Listen, this program is created in a manipulated society. So to not question things, you question everything. It's the only way you come to your own truth. So even if it's the best meal you've ever had in your whole entire life, you would still be like, I don't know about this one thing because you're
and if
discerning.
and if
And
it's
he
a bad
said
meal, and if it's a
he
bad meal,
said
you
this
make the decision or not to go back to that place again.
they don't teach discernment. So when they say people, places, and things, they're not outright saying or have it written in the books.
It
They say
is. It's in
people,
this.
places.
It is. It's
No,
in
no,
this
no,
book
just
right
finish
here.
to know whether what I'm saying is true or not. Please, Sly. I'm trying to stay calm. Okay. I'm saying they should be saying certain people, places, and things. How about toxic people? How about people who feed your issue?
But
But
that's
they
how
have
you.
it boiled down to a general statement of people, places, and things. And I'm trying to say, don't be general in it, be personal in it. I know
That's
which
why you
places
think for
I
your.
need to stay away from. I know which people I need to stay away from.
That's
I
why.
know what situations I need to stay away from. That's an I statement.
But that's why you think for yourself, Mary. You don't generalize it in their way. You generalize it for yourself. You think for yourself. I know
Right,
if I
but we're
go.
talking about people who are inebriated, and if we're going to try and train them to get them back to normal world, then we need to do it the right way and not a cookie cutter way. It
No,
worked for you. You're the golden child that can say that worked for
it works
you.
for us out. It works for millions of people, baby. It
Dude,
has.
I do
Why?
my
You guys,
research, Shy. I do
But
my
I've been in the
research.
program. I was in the
you
program
guys,
for 8 years.
hey,
I was
hey,
there. I was. Oh, now, Larry, I gotta come. I gotta stop talking because Mary's upset. Are you
yeah.
telling me that?
No,
Huh?
no, no, no. I was just gonna say something. Was all. I didn't. The funny thing about it is, you guys are kind of saying the same things, just in
We
different
are, and
ways.
she's getting upset.
No, we're not. We're not saying the same thing. I
Yes,
am
we are.
trying to put across an idea of owning your healing. That's what I had to
It's a,
do. I was never an alcoholic or anything. I had to own my healing. I had to use my own terminology, not
right.
Right.
terminology told to me by a
It was,
damn book or a person.
and
And then when I question, wait a minute, Sly, because when I question the statistics and the truth of the program, I get yelled at instead of being talked to about this very thing.
baby, you're the one that's getting upset. I'm not yelling at you or arguing with you. You're the one that's getting all tempered and triggered.
Get the thought
I'm not
across,
yelling
Sly.
at you.
You are defending a program that works for you. I understand that.
I'm
What I'm
not.
saying is it doesn't work for everybody that way. God
Okay.
wanted me to say that to Moose, and
Oh,
that should have been the end of the conversation.
but why should we stop talking about it? Because I mean, you can say what you want to say to Moose. It's okay. I'm just might not agree the same way that you're saying it,
Yeah,
and
but
it's
you can't tell
okay.
me I'm wrong because you
I'm not
don't
Man,
saying
know.
you're
He's
she
wrong.
not.
just dropped a bomb. I've been
I'm
listening
not
to this.
saying you're
This girl
wrong. I'm
dropped a
not.
bomb.
I
She,
didn't say you was wrong. I
whew,
didn't. I just
That's
said
how
that
it comes across, Sly. When you
I,
defend something without
that's
anyone else being able to question it, it does come across wrong. It
that's
comes
your
across
way of
wrong.
thinking, Mary. That's the what you did yesterday. That's your way of thinking that it comes across that way,
hey, this
right?
Sly,
booty
You're
was
all
so
I
getting
raw, I
did,
almost
you're
threw
getting
up.
triggered. You're getting
Sly,
upset. You're
calm
getting triggered.
down.
I'm
Just
calm. You're the
calm
one that's
down.
facing. I'm
Listen,
calm. You're the one
you
that's
won't
facing
let
the floor.
anyone speak, Sly. Calm down for a minute and let me go back, please.
I'm calm now, baby. You won't listen. I'm
All
calm.
right. All right.
Fuck. She keeps saying calm down, and I'm calm. I was
All
calm.
right.
I was talking to her calm. I wasn't yelling at her. I wasn't cussing her out. I was talking to her
I
calm.
know.
I'm saying that you the one that got triggered because I said
Nope.
I was in the program I had to hear those things repetitiously, right? They're in the book. That's all I was saying. I'm sharing my experience, my strength, my hope, right? I've walked with these people for 8 years, so that's why I'm only sharing my experience, strength, and hope like you are. But you're saying change the words. The reason why I said that I heard the words repetitiously, and that way it made me stay away from people, places, and things, right? I said if I made the words agreeable to me and my way of thinking, I would continue to be around people, places, and things,
That's
and
not
then I
what I
would.
told him to do, though. That is not
No,
what I
no, I'm not
suggested.
saying you, Mary. You keep getting in your
But I
head.
triggered
I'm not
you in saying that to
saying you.
Moose, and you haven't stopped since.
Oh my God. Am I not supposed to talk now? You want me to shut up now? Is that what you're
That's not.
telling me?
Don't put words in my mouth. Don't put
So
words in
I'm
my
asking
mouth.
you, what do you want
I
me to
said
do?
something
All
to
right, you
Moose
guys,
that
you
I
may
thought
need
he
to
needed to
calm
hear,
down a little
and
It's
you jumped in.
okay.
Look, you're still
It's
not
so.
done. You've been talking for minutes now. Let me speak then.
Oh
Let
my
me
God.
speak. I said something to Moose that I thought Moose needed to hear. To
Okay.
personalize. Let me finish, please.
I'm
And
just
then you
agreeing.
came
I'm
in,
just
and
saying
then you came
okay.
in, and then you came in and told us your story. And I said, I appreciate that. You are a golden nugget in that story, but you didn't let me clarify to Moose what I was saying. You're very strong in your idea and these words working for you. I get that. I wouldn't want anyone telling me to change what I was doing, but I'm not telling you, Sly, to change what you're doing. I was just uttering to Miss that what he's doing, this program, is a general program and it needs to be developed in the individual way. So when we're talking about, let me finish, when we're talking about people, places, and things, I was just inferring for him to say my people that trigger me, or my places that cause me to do this, or these situations. So you took what I said wrong. I'm telling you, dead ass, you took it wrong. I
No, I
was not trying to change a program. I was
didn't.
speaking to Moose about a very important
No,
detail about
I'm getting ready
healing.
to
And
cry
that's
right
very,
now.
very,
I'm getting
look,
ready to
look,
cry right
look,
now.
look,
I'm getting
look,
ready to
look.
cry right now because you keep getting in your head saying what I took wrong. I did not take anything you said wrong. I swear
She's
to
trying
you,
to say
not.
hi to you
I
guys.
understood exactly what you were saying. All I was saying that I had to hear those words repetitiously. That's all I kept saying to you is what I experienced. I heard what you said. You said then you made it clear. You said what all I kept doing was
Hey,
agreeing with you and saying
hey, don't
yes.
try to get away.
Think for yourself. Yes, say you have to remove yourself from these people. You have to remove yourself from them places. You no matter how you word it, it's still people, places, and things, Mary. That's all I was saying. I wasn't disagreeing with you. I swear to you. Stop. You did that to me yesterday. You got all in your head and thought that I said something wrong. And I didn't. I didn't think you said anything wrong. I swear to you. And you keep doing that to me. And you get in your own head and you start thinking that that she's misunderstanding me. No. I'm just saying, I'm just sharing. You said you did research. I was in the program. I did 8 years, right? I stayed clean and sober, right? I'm only sharing my experience, strength, and hope. What you saying to Moose is okay. I'm not taking that away from you, right? I'm just saying I had to hear the words, right? I couldn't make the words agreeable to my situation, right? I couldn't say, well, I'm not going to say these places. You know what I mean? So that's what I was sharing. You didn't understand me. You thought that I was trying to shut you down, and I wasn't. So stop getting in your head thinking that everybody's don't agree with you or don't hear what you saying. I heard you. I understood you, right? But I get passionate when you try to shut me down and say, Slide, you don't understand that's not what I was saying. Da, 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 da. And then I'm like, well, you think I'm mad. I wasn't mad until now. And then shouldn't be mad. I'm not mad, Nubs. I'm not mad. I'm a little disappointed that she keeps doing that to me. And she's not the only one that does that to me. They get in their head and they start thinking, right, without allowing me to finish saying what I was saying, because she cut me off and didn't even let me finish before she had a thought. And she said, wait, let me finish, right? So I did. But when she said, maybe you want to change the words, then I was like, she said, well, maybe that'll work for you, that you change the words or whatever. So I share my experience, strength, and hope, knowing that I had to hear those words repetitiously to keep me away from those people, places, and things. That's all I was saying, right? Listen, I don't care what research does, right? I went to meetings. I seen a lot of people grow. I seen a lot of people stay sober. I seen a lot of people stay away from people, places, and things. I seen a lot of people go to dances and shit like that with no alcohol, right? I've been there. So it does work. So when you say research, man, you gotta be a part of to know what goes on in an AA meeting. Yes, you get indoctrinated, but you get indoctrinated in a good way, right? And you still gotta think for yourself and not be a follower, right? You still gotta write your first step for you, not for other people, right? You know what I mean? And if you know that you go to places and it trigger you, then you write that shit down. If you know you be around things that trigger you, it don't have to be drugs, don't have to be alcohol, it could be people, right? People, places, and things. Like anything could trigger you. But you keep that, the reason why they keep it simple. Here you go. Here go another good word. Did you hear? Keep it simple, stupid. What that mean? What that mean? What that mean?
All right, let's settle down a little.
Well, no, I'm sad.
It means keep it simple.
Why do you think that I'm upset, man? I'm not angry or anything, Larry. I'm just talking. I'm just passionate. That's all.
You're passionate.
So you want me to stop talking about AA? I'm trying to help my boy.
No, I'm not saying that. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Larry's not against you. Nobody's against you.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know why she gets so triggered, right? When I just share my experience, strength, and hope. That's all I'm doing, right? If I went to the program, and I experienced the program, and I read the book, and I did my 12 steps, right? So who's better to tell you than who?
All right, Nubs, what do you got for us?
Oh yeah, that means shut the hell up, Stasha. All right.
I don't know what that means. You know,
that's not what it means. Nobody's digging on you, Sly. I think that just everything got passionate.
You guys have a very valid point. And ultimately, here's what I think. Moose, what would work best for you? Past that, I don't care.
I'm working on what would be best for me. That's what I'm doing.
I'm not asking that as a question. I'm saying ultimately, in regards to this conversation, what you do is what you do. If you want to give it a personal pronoun on it, specifically, don't go around John Smith because he's a fucking asshole that always makes me drink. Or don't go to the bar that John Smith's at. It's like watching a football game. One person's cheering for the other team and the other team's cheering, but ultimately, at the end of the day, guess what? You're both playing fucking football. That's it. That's where it boils down to. That is where it ends. And everybody has their own opinion, and they all fucking stink, including mine. In fact, mine smells the worst.
Yeah, especially when you're looking down at us, Nubs.
I see
you looking down.
Nubs. I experienced 8 years of staying clean and sober, and I didn't do it by myself. I had to get a program, right? I had to be indoctrinated into staying away from people, places, and things. You know what I mean? I had to keep hearing, keep it simple, stupid. I had to keep hearing, take a minute at a time. You know what I mean?
Sometimes that works, and sometimes that doesn't work. My sister actually,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It really boils down to the thing about it. My sister actually runs a Celebrate Recovery. I don't know if you're familiar. It's similar to AA, something along those same lines.
Yeah.
So, you know, I actually have a lot of conversation with her. She always yells at me for smoking weed, and I'm like, come on now. Like, to me, for me, I can handle it. It's not something that gets me out of control. The other guy, that might not be the same.
Exactly. Because I stopped doing the stuff that was taking me outside of myself, right? I stopped doing that hard shit, right? And for 8 years, you know, when I started smoking again, I kept saying, I really didn't go in to stop smoking weed. I just stayed clean because that's what I was told to do, so I can get my life in order, right?
Right. And that's where to me, what I'm understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, you used the program for what you needed the program for. Past that, the program didn't apply. You don't have a problem with this, you do with that. You know, it's kind of like, why is it that one person can walk into a casino, grab a beer, and get completely fucking wasted and not gamble at all? Or another guy goes in completely straight sober and is broke in 20 minutes.
Let me show you why.
That's exactly
I'm listening.
it.
I'm listening. I got a shovel.
I ain't got them cards right now, right? But they look, Nubs, look at the camera. They got the stack of cards this thick, right? All they gotta do is go in, play $10 or whatever, and they can drink all night. But you know, I mean,
You're
I
muted.
don't know. Who, Nubs?
It's all what you make of it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, like, when you go to meetings or on your screen, right? When you go to the Zoom meetings, isn't it people that got sobriety like years?
Yeah, but there's also people in the meeting that are currently going through it.
Newcomers.
You know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sorry that I know all the lingo, right? And I think that's probably where, you know, Mary's butting heads with me. I don't know why, but I think because I know all the lingo. And listen, because I used to hear in NA, right? And that's probably where she probably got it confused at. Because in NA, man, they seem like walking robots. They sound the same, they talk the same, they act the same, they look the same. You know what I mean? I needed to get away from that. That was people, places, and things for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just that atmosphere was people, places, and things for me. I couldn't do it. That's why I went to AA. And AA is totally different from NA. AA make you look at yourself, right? Moose?
Yep.
Are you with me, man, or what? We trying to get
it cut me out.
We trying to get people to surrender, because once you surrender, man, look, you off to the first step, right?
See, Bruce? I disagree with you on that one. I think it's yourself that makes yourself look at yourself. AA just facilitates it.
Oh yeah. That's
what it is.
Moose. I mean,
okay.
Nubs, that's how I got sober. I looked in the mirror at self.
Right. Yep. Right. Because if you don't pay attention to self, if you look in your mirror and you don't like what you see, then you've got to fix. And I can't do your push-ups, but I can tell you, hey, did you do your push-ups today?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at, is like, I got people to hold me accountable, you know? There's
accountability is huge.
You know,
accountability is huge, just period. Because the thing about it is like, for instance, Moose and I can hold each other, and Larry's also in this category. Sorry, Shy, you don't have kids, do you?
No, sir.
Okay, so you are literally not physically able to be in this category.
I can hold both of these men accountable.
Wait, hold up. I'm 60 years old. You know how many kids I had to take care of?
I'm saying your own children.
I know.
Don't get me wrong. You deal with children all day. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying as far as what you have put out of your body. Ultimately, I can hold you accountable for being a man and being a good father, because I can look at you and say, hey, this is what I've done. Are you matching me? Are you doing better than me? And we talk about it. We hold each other accountable and we walk on our day. And that's really, to me, I think that's important for any aspect of life, because if you are alone on your ship, you will go crazy. You need some time to go crazy, but you will end up going crazy and you will go right back into the same waters you just came out of. So back to shoveling.
People, places,
why
and
I'm doing-
things. Look, please, if you can do what Mary suggested, do it. Pick another goddamn word. But remember, people, places, and things can sometimes be dangerous. Mary, I
Yeah.
love you. Please, I love you. Stop thinking I'm angry all the time. I'm not.
Particular people, places, and things, though, because there's a thing, like I can go into my old neighborhood and be just fine. Just fine.
I couldn't.
But I can also not go into my old country neighborhood and be just fine. It brings back a mentality. It brings back a spirit about the land. The land is me, right?
Mhm.
And I absorb all of what's in the land one way or another. You know, and so when you're in that mindset that specifically Bob is going to drag me down. I do not need to be meeting Bobs. I do not need to be hanging out with Bobs until I get me to a point where I have somebody that will keep me accountable, including myself. You know, because accountability starts with your own self and then it moves to another.
I did it for 8 years, man. Listen, I lived in a house with a lady. She wouldn't even let me use her pots, Nubs. You hear me? She said, you're going to get your own dishes. You're going to get your own pots and
She
pans.
loved you, didn't she?
No. Yes, listen, I got everything I got in my apartment today because of that lady. She made sure, she said, no, you're going to have your own shit. Even when I was doing little, paint things and stuff, like I was told, yo, you make sure you got your own equipment because I see you already know what you're going to do. You know what I mean? So you're right. They held me accountable and made me be responsible. And I appreciate that, yo. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of like what I want to do with Moose. You know what I mean? I want to hold him accountable and help him be, transparent and responsible. You know what I mean? Even though everything ain't got to be for YouTube, but I want him to know I'm there to help him grow and not try to keep him down.
I think our actions speak a lot more than our words. You know, the fact that you have his number privately says something.
Don't believe that. Look, don't believe that. I ain't got that nigga private number. He don't trust nobody no more.
What are you talking about? I'll send it to you right now.
Moose, I'm just messing with you, man.
I know. I'm focusing right now. No offense. I'm listening, but I'm also
That's why I
focusing.
told your ass to put your earbuds in so you wouldn't hear my damn mouth. Then me and Mary wouldn't be done butted heads about this people, places, and things thing. Man. Larry, I'm sorry if I got you upset or anything. Please forgive me.
No. Okay. Give me a second here. What I wasn't trying to tell you in any way, shape, or form that you needed to shut up or anything like that. I just felt right at that moment, and you know how I get my feelings. I felt we needed another perspective on this whole outlook, and that's why I asked Nubs what he was thinking, because I felt it could give us a different perspective on the whole outlook, and I believe it did.
Yeah, okay, so you wanted to put a look, you wanted to de-escalate. That's how I'm gonna explain it.
More or less,
No,
yeah.
it's
But
okay, babe. Listen,
no,
anything that I say out of my mouth is jokingly. I'm not
no,
getting, I
I
don't
know.
get, yeah, I don't get triggered like some of y'all do on me, right? I don't get triggered. I get passionate. I get
Right.
confident,
Oh,
right?
I know.
Only
Yeah.
because,
Can I just finish this one thing I'm on?
what
Yeah.
you want me to shut up?
Oh, no, sorry. I was talking about. I thought I was
Look,
muted.
Larry, see, I done got everybody. What you want me to shut up? But Larry, I'm just passionate about what I experienced.
Oh, I
Experienced,
know.
right?
I know.
I experienced AA. It did work for me. If I hadn't have went through 8 years of AA, I wouldn't have all of this that I have today. I
Right.
wouldn't be who I am today. If I
Oh, I
didn't
know.
look at me and see me in that mirror, I wouldn't have never went, right? And I'd still be in people, places, and things, right? So I'm
Right.
glad that I was heard that repetitiously. And you're right. He can change it to any way he want to and put it any way he want to. I just know that for me, that's what I had to hear. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Other than that, like, a day at a time, like, I'll say that all. Like, we used to say that, keep coming back. You heard that, Lucy?
One step in front of the other. You
One,
can't walk
no,
unless you put one foot in
one
front of
step,
the other.
one step at a time. We ain't heard no one foot in front of the other. No, we ain't hear that shit,
Same
Larry.
thing. Same thing.
See, as long as you ain't get triggered on me and say, "Fly Shine, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying to you." That's all I'm saying. Like, yo, stop thinking I'm misunderstanding. I be just cracking jokes. I mean, you know what I mean? I just don't want people getting all in their feelings and stuff. Then you want to, you're not understanding me. You're not listening. You won't shut the fuck up. And see, that's how PC be. Like, he'll be talking and he'll keep talking. He'll care. You tell him to shut up and die. Now, y'all wonder why I keep running my mouth, right?
That's just who you are. Haha.
No, that's because it gets crickets. That's because it gets crickets up in this motherfucker. And I'm like, where did they go? The Betsons?
Yeah.
I don't wonder why you run your mouth shy. I know you're from Philly.
Hey, Nubs, did you grow up in Philly?
No, I for the most part of my life, I grew up in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was out in Western Pennsylvania for a good while. And then since then, I've been all over.
Okay.
I grew up off of exit 10 on the turnpike, if you know where that is. About an hour east of Pittsburgh.
Canadian was laughing at me and Joe Cool because we don't know the map. We don't know the globe or the map or whatever it is.
Hey, I just seen him at one of my favorite fucking YouTube channels. It's what is it? J Dreamers.
Okay.
You should check that channel out. All of you guys should. He's got some interesting information. I'm not saying it's straight up, but it's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Some very interesting theories.
Mm-hmm. Daydreamer?
J-A-Y Dreamers.
J Dreamers. With a Z?
Yeah.
Got it.
It's some interesting information. Like, he breaks down words and everything because words absolutely have power.
Yeah.
Words absolutely have power. And the more specific we can get our words, the more specific our intent will come out. Without overcomplicating it, That's funny. She gives her intent. That's awesome. Go, little moose.
Yeah.
Jay Dreamers is also the guy that did the video on the Smurfs, and Yurt called him out for that. He's got some interesting stuff, and I'm not closed minded. You know, I'm open minded, but I think that everything we watch and we listen to, we should, you know, just take it with a grain of salt, because some of it's not real, some of it's not true. Other
None
parts
of
are
it's
true.
real.
See?
None of it's real.
That's all.
None of it is real. Because what's real? What's real is what happens to you, right?
Right. That's
And if
true.
it didn't happen to you,
Ooh,
then it's
cool
just
hand.
speculation.
Wait a minute now.
I'm sorry.
Wait a
I'm
minute
sorry. I
now.
ain't mean to say that out loud. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry, Dubs. I did not mean to laugh out loud.
Wait a minute now. My banner says
See, all
otherwise.
that
My
happened to
banner,
me.
my
Look, all
banner
that
says
happened to
Larry
me.
is real. So there, haha.
Look, all of that happened to me, so I had that experience, right? So that's why I bust out laughing. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to bust out laughing like that. Wasn't no research involved. I had to go to every day.
I mean, let's be honest. You look at the word belief. Spell that word out and tell me there's not a lie smack dab right in the center.
You can believe a
Ow.
lie if you want to.
Now, faith, on the other hand, faith can move mountains. That's a whole different story. Hey, I gotta get back to shoveling. I'll jump back up here in a little while. I gotta get some work done.
All right, keep breathing. Keep breathing.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's the
All
only
right.
thing I got. It's
All right.
it's my ooh-ah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm so but Larry, you be asking for it, man. You be like, let me let this little chick know that I'm going live so she won't be cussing me out.
Whatever.
Are you ready to end this thing?
I don't know. I'm okay for a little while.
What are you talking about, man? I'm taking a little break from this thing.
Hey,
I'm
'cause Larry
hanging out
kicked
with
us
the little moose
Larry
right
got
here.
comfortable. Look, Larry got comfortable yesterday on the arm of that chair. He kicked us out of the coffee shop. He was like, listen, I'm about 4
Hey, I
hours.
was already up for like 10 hours or something. Fuck.
I've been up since 1 a.m.
Well,
I'm gonna
I'm
give you a
glad for you.
thumbnail, Larry. I'm gonna make you a thumbnail if you use it.
The coffee house.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it like Larry's coffee house and nice cup of coffee or whatever, and like
Have
you know
him
a little
sit at the
steam
table.
coming up.
Yeah,
Have him
I'll
sit
put
at
it
a
up
table
there.
with a cigar. I mean, a pipe and a cup of coffee.
A pipe and a cup of coffee. All right, I can do that.
That'd
Now
be
we're not
cool.
talking about the Joe Biden the pipe,
I
right?
need
We're
to
talking
learn how
about
to
like a
do that
bong or
stuff
something.
myself too.
Joe Biden didn't smoke crack. His sons did. Oh, I'm
Which
sorry.
reminds
Allegedly.
me,
Allegedly. Moose. His sons allegedly smoked crack, not Joe Biden.
I gotta ask you this while I have it on my mind. When you first go into StreamYard, there's this little button or box that says for local recording. What's that?
That's for you to record it on like on your device. Like if you want to
Okay.
record it on your computer or whatnot.
Oh, all right. I wasn't sure about that. I don't want to fill up my hard drive.
Yeah, and
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But there's also a new thing on StreamYard where if one of your people on your panel is lagging, blurry, or whatever else, you can fix it. You can record them or whatever, and it'll fix the stream. It'll fix it. So that might
Really?
be no, but
you need that for me.
yo, I
Also,
know. Yo, Moose, when she said it, I said, "Oh yeah, Moosey need that one."
Okay. Also, I paid. You told me I don't need that extra storage, but I paid for that last month. Do I have to get rid of it, or will they just charge, or do they have to? Will that be an automatic charge unless I get rid of that option?
StreamYard.
Yeah, it's going to be automatic charge
It's gonna be
because
All
automatic.
right. What do you do? Just go in there and
Cancel.
where I paid for the extra storage and click on
No,
it and say I don't want it no more?
yeah,
wait.
you don't need the storage.
What
Right.
I
I
did,
was wondering how to get rid of it.
what I did is I went to, I think I went to my Google Play Store. I think I went. Wait, I'm
No, because
trying to
it's on
remember how I got
StreamYard.
StreamYard.
It's on StreamYard. I know
Just
that.
go to StreamYard.com and then,
Right.
whoa, that's my book. You can't be doing that to my book. That's we taking notes on here. Go to StreamYard and then let's see, I'll do it with you. StreamYard. And then go to my account settings. Nope, that's not it.
Probably membership or
Go to billing.
billing. Yeah.
Go to billing and
Here you go.
then you should be able to take it off because from the billing where it says
Yeah, it
recording
say
storage, you should just delete. Sorry.
it is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Moose, but it should say in subscription, right?
Or extra storage or whatever. All right. Also,
Now-
yesterday, Wolf Lady was trying to put her own video on her own profile, and every time she went to StreamYard, she'd always end up on my profile. She couldn't get on hers.
Is it because y'all don't have that extra storage? I don't know.
No, I think it was because she didn't have anything posted on YouTube. I think she needs to post something to YouTube first to be able to get to her profile on StreamYard. I don't know though for sure.
Oh yeah, I think so. You gotta have a profile. You have to have an account.
Well, she's
either
got a StreamYard account and she's got a YouTube account. She just doesn't have anything on either. And like I said, every time she went to StreamYard, she just automatically log into my account. And then she'd try to get out of there and go into hers and it just log back into mine.
So tell her to log out of yours and
I
stay
did
out
that.
of yours, and then go to hers and log into hers.
We tried that. She couldn't get it to work. That's why I think she might have to post something to YouTube but first to have some content there to be able to have a
Does she have
profile
50?
to go to.
Does she have 50 subscribers?
No, she got
can't
9.
post, she can't post nothing to YouTube yet.
I did without no 50 subscribers.
You did?
Yeah.
How long you been on YouTube?
Well, this is back my first video I did was in 2013.
And
And
you
I
ain't
had
had no.
0 subscribers.
Okay.
I had 0
I don't know
subscribers back then.
I don't know then, Larry. I'm sorry. Because I was thinking, oh, what I had, I don't know. I had to uninstall and reinstall YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know, because sometimes that shit don't update. I'm looking at videos from 8 months and 2 years ago. The fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What I hate is they'll search for something,
I'm sorry.
and then
And she said,
you'll go and do the update. You know, you want to see
She
the
can't
most
hear you.
video, and then nothing will come up.
okay. On what? On yours or hers?
Well, sometimes you'll be searching for something, right? You put in your search, so you want to search for some certain kind of video, and then you go over to the lines and you go up the the closest date, you know, to where you're at. You hit the update, and then no videos will come up. Like there's nothing there or something. It's weird sometimes how it does that. Well, it says we have 5 in chat. I don't know if Chuck's still there. I'm sorry for not saying hi. Patriot, hello.
Hey, let me ask you a question. How are you watching the chat?
I'm on my computer.
And so you got you got a cam on your computer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here's how
Wow,
that
wow, wow, wow,
song
wow.
is. See the
Miss
channel,
Sly.
it don't make sense to me. I
Huh?
think it's the same. I'll mute for the train.
You ain't got a mute for the damn train. Let
Nah, man, I like to hear the train.
yeah,
All right.
let us see the train, man. I'm good. I
Ain't
keep
nobody
moving this
here.
thing around because I get dark when I'm look. It get dark in here when I move it this way. I get dark. I want little Lucy to see me.
He only honked a couple times.
Yeah, let me hi Pat. Do you watch Brian? Do you watch Here's the Deal?
I don't
Yeah.
anymore. I used to, but like it gets me all fired up.
Oh man, that shit funny as hell. I mean, not funny. It's serious. You know, a lot
It's
of this
too
stuff.
serious. It's
Yeah,
like
but
watching the news for me, you know? Like I know this crap's going on, but right now I gotta get this right.
true that, true that. Larry, do you watch him?
Yeah, oh yeah. Like I
Okay.
said, I've been watching all those people forever.
Rogue Nation too.
Oh yeah.
Rights Crispy.
I haven't watched him.
How you well, hold on. How you watch a Rogue and don't see Rights Crispy?
I guess they just haven't suggested him. I don't know.
He's right there with Rights Crispy. Y'all, he be right there. All right, you got because y'all don't be checking the like more. When it says more, it drops down and it show you the original channel or who else to
Oh
subscribe to.
right. Yeah, I don't be
You know what I
doing
mean?
that. Yeah.
And you would see Rice Crispy in a lot of Rogue Nation videos, along with James Madison. He's an
Yeah.
ex-sheriff,
Oh yeah. I
right?
watched him. Oh yeah.
You see him with Rogue Nation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the little short guy with the hair, that's Rice Crispy.
Uh.
Yeah, one of his videos went viral. What? You am I talking too much? Now you telling me to shut up?
She can't hear you. I was smart and I put the headphones on because I didn't
No,
want you guys to have to like watch your
listen.
mouth, you know.
I'm sorry because I'm glad you put the headphones on, right? But look, now she telling me to shut up. She
Nah,
like you keep running your mouth. She said, I'm gonna get down and go kick her, daddy. She hear me, she talking about her.
Whoa.
Hey Larry,
Whoa.
you practicing? Don't practice now, Larry.
What?
Don't practice now. Look,
Practice
Larry trying to
what?
figure it out.
Oh.
So, wait. So, what I was saying about Rice Crispy, his daughter, I think it was his daughter and his niece was
Yeah.
driving. One was following the other. One had children in the car. The cops pulled over one. I think the daughter. I'm not sure. And he was so rude to the person in front. Once the girl in the front seen that her sister or her cousin was pulled over, she pulled over. The cop
Yeah.
was telling her to go, get away.
Right.
I don't want you. You don't stop here. Go wait somewhere else. He
Yeah.
didn't walk up to the window. He just kept telling her to go.
Right.
Common sense would tell you, they with me. I'm gonna make sure they safe.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not gonna drive away from the scene. I'm
Right.
gonna stay on the scene.
Right.
Yo, they tried to snatch him out the car and everything. This video went viral. That video went viral. It made the news and everything. Yeah, but a lot of you watch SGV.
Yeah.
Yeah, Furry Potato. Furry Potato.
I've seen them a long time ago. I think I found out through them through what's his name? James Freeman.
Oh, James. Yeah. I know of Freeman.
James Freeman. He's been on there for a long time. He was one of the original auditors.
I know of Freeman. I
Yeah.
know. It's a few of them that I ain't too privy to.
I know a lot of those. Like I said, I've been on here. Well, I know I came on before I did my first video, but my first video is 2013.
So you know Jeff.
No.
Honey,
Man, she just wants. Sorry,
that's okay. I'm sorry.
she just keeps trying to type on the keyboard. I need to get her own keyboard.
No, not yet. Not yet. Oh, you mean a fake one?
Yeah, just a keyboard, not a screen or anything. Just a keyboard because she just wants a.
Well, after that keyboard, she gonna want the damn screen, man. She gonna be like, look, Moose, she gonna have her keyboard, right? And she be like, well, where's my face? Why I don't see myself? Oh, shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep cussing. All right, y'all too quiet now. You're going to make me go to sleep. Larry, you're going to get comfortable, aren't you? I see you working on the computer, Larry.
I'm just trying to figure some shit out. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna leave you guys for a little bit because I got probably like another hour of work to do on myself. So.
All right, man. You take care.
A minute at a time. Don't rush it. Take your time. Do what you gotta do, Moosey Moose. Love you.
Appreciate you guys. Love you too.
All right. Take care, man. What's
Larry.
the date today? Huh?
So I'm trying to understand, right? Help me understand, man. Like, I don't want people to get like upset with me because I share my experience, strength, and hope, right? I ain't saying yours is wrong, but can I share mine and not get dived on? I don't dive on nobody, man. I don't try to snatch the chair up from up under nobody when they saying what they saying. Just be sharing my experience, strength, and hope.
Right. I understand that. No, like I said, I think you guys were basically trying to say the same thing, just in different ways.
No, we was, yeah, right. You're right. Just in a different wording. That's all. You're right. We agreed. I agreed with everything she was saying, right? But she kept forgetting in her mind that I was fussing or disagreeing or, but because they already got that biased way of thought about me, right? They already got that thought about me is I'm going, run my mouth or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So just like yesterday, instead of saying that one person, it became all of us, but all of us wasn't doing it, right? So I ain't taking part of that all of us shit. I'm sorry, right?
Yeah.
Even with my words today, but it's just my words, you know what I mean?
Right.
When you said, well, you should, change them, and that's what made me say what I said when you said you should change them, and make them your words. And that's when it came to my, understanding of what I learned, you know what I mean? And that's only what I learned.
Right.
I didn't learn it through research. I learned it through experience.
Well, you see, that's why, I always try to look at it from both sides of view. And I could see, you guys, like I said, we're both right in your own way, just using different words in different ways. And we just, it's kind of like we say, a lot of sometimes our past comes up and something triggers us and we don't even realize, that that's affecting us. And we just gotta, like you have a couple times had to just get out and take a breather and get your hot thoughts together and, and realize what mistakes you might have made if you didn't make them. If you know what I'm saying, you got to make your own assessments and and you know, we all put ourselves in check too. And you got to think, I'd rather have somebody put themselves in check than you know, go off on me and say something that they don't really feel or think, you know, because we all do that shit. We all say shit we don't mean, you know what I'm saying? At times we have in our times in our life, is what I'm trying to say.
I was going to say, because after once I got myself together, I ain't
Right,
do that
right,
kind of stuff.
right,
I ain't
right,
disrespect people. I have the
right.
utmost
No,
respect
no, I
for
wasn't
another
trying
human
to say
being.
that. I'm saying in times, I'm not just saying, I'm saying, you know, when we were still learning, we were still doing this stuff, you know, and it's hard not to get back into that. I mean, I still do it. You know, sometimes I still kind of, you know, throw bricks up in my own face sometimes. You know, it's hard not to get out of that situation. You just got to realize that, you know, that I am throwing a brick in my face, and I got to understand that, you know, that there's all things we need to might, you know, need to work on or whatever, and just accept different things in our lives, you know, to a certain extent. Yeah.
You know what triggers me? I'm not trigger, but you know what gets me when people say we or us
Well,
or
I understand, but
you know
right,
what I mean? And
right,
sometimes and that's when I shake my head. No, not all of us. Some of
right,
us.
right,
For me, I can only speak for myself. I can't
right,
speak about what other people may do.
right, right. Oh,
But,
yeah,
but in people in my company, right? If I can see something that's happening all the time, should I let it happen all the time or should I what? You know what I mean?
right, right. Oh, yeah,
Because if I know how to gather myself, right, and still you keep thinking that I'm angry or something, I'm yelling at you and I'm not, because that's all I kept hearing. Calm down. And that's what made me get angry because you kept saying, calm down, and wasn't nothing wrong with me. I'm just up on the camera talking like this. You're reading the wrong thing, just like I was misunderstanding. You thought the wrong thing. I didn't
well,
misunderstand you at all.
right. Well, like with me, I'll use a lot of the wrong words at the wrong time, but I'm meaning something else. You know what I'm saying? So that's
And
something I have to try to work on with me. Is my vocabulary is not very good. I got a lot of fucking wisdom in my head, but I don't know how to put it into words a lot of times. And when I do put it into words, I'll put the wrong word in the wrong place or even say the wrong word,
do
you
you
know.
get offended? Do you get offended?
No, I try not to, but I'm sure there's been times when I have, you know, but for the most part, like I say, I try to look at every aspect of, you know, especially when it comes to people's opinions. It's like,
When you're writing, say when you messaging me, right? And you trying to explain yourself, right? And you
yeah,
might not, you think, now see, I'm gonna point something out to you. You
okay,
think because of your writing, you're in your head. You're
right,
thinking
right, right, right,
because of your writing, you're in your head.
right.
Don't project what's in your head onto me, and then when I read it, you're thinking, oh, she ain't gonna understand what I mean. She gonna think I'm stupid. She gonna think I can't
No, it's not
write.
like that at all. It's not.
Just stop playing. Stop playing. I could see it when I be talking to you sometimes. Yes, you be thinking that I don't understand you, that you didn't write it right, or you didn't say the right word, but you don't give me no credit. Mary don't give me no credit, right? And think and know that I do pay attention to y'all. I don't get triggered because the only time I get triggered is when you get triggered. And I'm like, why are you getting triggered? Why are you getting angry? Why are you pacing the floor? Why you make me throw a book?
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, and I do realize that
So is
that
that your
is a
thought or is that my thought?
no. Let me finish.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is, I know I put a lot of burdens upon myself that I shouldn't, but at the same time, I think there's in sometimes certain situations that you might be interpreting it the wrong way. Like I'm, kind of like,
How can you think for me?
not, you're not, you see, you're taking it the wrong way again.
No, I'm not. I'm just asking you questions. Why do y'all get so under pressure when I ask simple questions?
I'm
That's
not though. I'm not. Okay. What? Okay. I misinterpreted that right there, I guess.
yeah.
What? now
That's so
I'm
very
brain
interesting,
farting.
man.
Now I'm brain farting. I'm brain farting over here now.
See, I'm gonna explain it to you again, right? Because you get in your head and you start thinking when you writing, right? And then it might come out whatever way. You start thinking in your head, oh, she gonna misunderstand this, or but that's your thinking. That's
Well, I
not
understand that, and I'm not saying that that doesn't happen sometimes. But I'm just saying sometimes it doesn't happen.
okay. I
That's
don't
all
care.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
can.
care. I
No,
don't
I'm just saying I can. I know, like I said, I appreciate these things, that people bring to me because I know I still have faults that I need to work on, and I appreciate when somebody brings that up. And I don't really mean to. I don't know. I know I'm not.
No,
See, there I go again.
no, listen, what fault I pick y'all apart about?
Huh.
Misunderstanding me. That's what I meant. That's the part that I pick y'all apart about because y'all miss everything I say. Y'all pick it apart instead of looking at the positive, looking at maybe, you know what I mean? Like, let me clearly understand where she's coming from. Even if you don't understand it, right? Instead of getting triggered, try to get me to explain it to you where you do understand it instead of getting triggered and be like, oh, fuck that. She ain't listen to me. She ain't shut the fuck up yet. Man, she keep running her mouth. Oh, hell with that. And then you leave, right? And you mad at me for what? What you mad at me for? Cause you got in your head and you said, oh, she ain't listening to me. She don't hear me. She misunderstanding me. She da 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 da. See, she running her mouth. She won't shut the fuck up. That's what I get. I've been getting that shit every time I go on some panels, man. People start getting in their head and start trying to analyze, and you shouldn't. Sometimes shit, if it don't apply to you, let that shit go.
Right. I
Right?
understand that. I understand that.
Don't get all worked up because I changed, because you said you changed the words, and then all I did was share my experience, different hope, and you took it the wrong way and said, well, no, that program is this, that, and the other. I did my research and I know, and it's doctrination and this, that, and the other. But sometimes certain things we gotta think for ourselves, and we need that indoctrination. I needed that to keep me clean and sober for 8 years.
Right. Right.
He
No. Yeah.
always kept me from sticking a needle in my arm for 8 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? I
Right.
didn't go back down them places where I used to stick the needle in my arm. I ain't go
Right.
down to places talking about, oh, I can handle it. What? Are you kidding me? Then somebody snatched me up talking about here. I done seen it on plenty of movies.
Yeah.
Then she take the bag of dope and OD.
Yeah.
Here, man, I ain't trying that shit. Once I got my life together, man, once they taught me how to live, and this book right here, this book right here, this helped me live, man. You hear
Well.
me? I ain't
Right.
lying. And this is like the blue Bible.
Right.
I ain't lying. It's right here. I had to have a program. I couldn't do
Right.
it by
Right.
myself.
Right. You had to have that structure.
Right. Some people can, some people can't. Right
Right.
now,
Right.
I'm proud that Moose is on the first step. That means he surrendered. He's let go, he's letting go of the disease, whatever the disease is, whatever the people, places, and things is, right? It don't necessarily have to be the drug or the alcohol.
Right. Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But some of us need guidance.
Oh yeah.
Some of us use the Bible. Some of us use research, right? I ain't gonna knock you for using research, but I can only say for me that I had the experience of being an
Right.
alcoholic and going into an AA program.
Right. Well, it's kind of like me. I can't. I've never. I shouldn't say I can't. I've never been able to look at a book and tell a book, have the book tell me what it's trying to say. I'm a more. I have to learn from experience. I have to have something in my hands. I have to. I have to trip before I can fall. I have to fall before I can pick myself up.
You
Type
gotta hit
thing.
the bottom. You gotta hit a
Right.
bottom.
Right.
That's one of the words. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Larry. I
No,
changed the word. I apologize.
you're fine.
But that's what we say. Okay, this is only an AA word.
Right.
It's called hitting the bottom.
Right.
Right. I hit
Right.
my bottom.
Right,
I,
right, right. Oh yeah, we all have our own bottoms, and some of us don't want to realize that we're at our bottoms like that. Like my brother,
but they ain't
my
hit it
brother.
yet. They ain't hit it yet. They didn't hit it yet. If they
Right.
don't realize that they at the bottom, they ain't hit it yet.
Well, he ended up dying from it, though. That's what I'm saying. You know.
See, yeah. He didn't hit his bottom until he died.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from now?
Right. Well,
Yeah. Right? I mean,
he just never. He never made that decision in his heart that he, wanted to quit. He thought he wanted to quit, but he never made that choice and the decision in his heart and soul that he had to.
all right, so am I saying it wrong then? Now, this is where I want you to know I
Okay.
don't disagree with you. I agree with you, right?
Right.
He just didn't hit that bottom. See, when you stop like Moose did, like he ready, he's admitted, he surrendered, he's on that first step, right?
Right.
Your brother, he never hit that bottom to really realize it was time for him to stop.
Right. Right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you.
No. You like I said, like here again, we were saying the same thing just in different ways. You know.
That's exactly what I was trying to explain.
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I need people to be patient enough to hear that and not
Oh
get
yeah.
in the head first and start saying, there she go again, running her mouth. She won't even let me talk. Ah, la, 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 la. We don't get nowhere like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then we got
Well,
Larry.
I was kind of hoping Anna was going to show up here pretty soon, but doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Well, I mean, you call your baby girl and find out what's going on. Give her a couple of kisses through the phone, and you know what I mean.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she's not working today. She told me she's got to go to a birthday party today, so she's probably not up yet.
Okay, she getting her rest.
I was expecting her to come here today, but she said she had a birthday party she had to go to.
Oh, so what, you got all cleaned up, shaved and showered and shit?
Not yet. I just still.
What, you glad she ain't coming?
I gotta go shower sometime today. I've been battling doing laundry and stuff. Got it all folded. I just gotta put it away now.
Man, I need to go do laundry. I ain't gonna tell you where my stuff is. And I keep stepping over it, talking about I need to pick these clothes up.
Yeah.
I get lazy sometimes. Not lazy, but I don't like the cold weather, Larry. I'm gonna tell you.
I get big time depressed because I hurt so bad when it gets cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, my feet feel like I've been up in the mountains all day in the snow without having the fun. It just fucking hurts.
You get your sugar checked, man.
That's not the problem. Last time I had my sugar checked, it was fine.
How long ago? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I yell?
A couple months ago.
I'm not upset.
No, I know. No, a few months ago.
Okay. All right. You sure you ain't lying to me, are you, Larry?
No, I did a self check.
Ah, that's like the police. That's like the police investigating themselves. What the fuck?
No, they got those. They got these tests you can do on, like.
Yeah. Them government tech. Hold up. Come on, Larry. Oh, so you think that they gonna really make a test for you to believe that you don't have sugar?
Well, the same. I mean, and then I could think the same thing of their blood tests, though. How do I know what their blood tests really say?
Yo, every time they take my blood pressure, it's always high, right?
Yeah.
The doctor gotta come in and take it again, and it's okay.
Right.
Their intentions is to tell the doctor her blood pressure high. He give me some kind of medication. He
Right.
know I ain't falling for that shit, so he comes in and he takes my blood pressure again.
Right.
If it was a problem, he would tell me.
Right.
If you don't speak up, they won't tell you. Listen, they weigh you, right? She said 121. I said minus 5 pounds for the clothes.
Right.
Why I gotta tell you that? Right?
Right. No, I know what you're saying.
Why I gotta tell? So that means that you don't know to calibrate. How do I know that machine is calibrated
Right.
properly? You know what I mean? If you don't know how to think, well, damn, she do got.
Well, plus two, like my pair of shoes could weigh more than your pair of shoes because I got bigger damn feet for one thing. You know, I could be wearing boots. You could be wearing slippers. Whatever.
Thank you. They don't, but see, they don't train them to do that, Larry. They train them to just, get us up on the scale, take our blood pressure, write some shit down, right? And then they keep it moving. And then they all jacked up with sugar diabetes medication, high blood pressure medication. See, I ain't trying to get you to get on no medication. I'm just trying to get you to take care of them feet. You got to move around more. You hear me?
Yeah.
Guess what my doctor told me? Go to the Y. You hear me?
Yeah.
You got insurance?
Yeah, but it cost me $200 to go to the doctor.
Yeah, but what about the YMCA? You got any of those?
They don't do no doctoring anymore.
No, listen to me. My doctor told me to go to the YMCA. It's free.
To do what there?
You could get in the pool. You could do pool exercises. You could get on the machines. I'm going to start Monday.
Oh.
You got a Y in your area? Can you get to a Y Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look. But we got a electric walker thing out in my driveway. I've been using it.
Larry, I've been knowing you for how many goddamn months, buddy? You sit still a lot, buddy. Okay?
Huh?
You sit still a lot. Did I say
I actually do more than you know.
For real?
Yeah.
You sure?
But I do get in slumps. I'll agree with that. But I do a lot more than you know too.
Okay.
I'll try to at least go out at least once a day outside and do something, even if it's for 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes more than I have.
You made me drop the damn phone. Did I sneeze? Wait,
Yeah,
did I do a moose? You made me drop the phone. Did your ass just say for even if it's for 5 minutes?
At 5 minutes, sometimes it hurts like a son of a bitch.
All right, so that's why babe. That's why you gotta do it more than 5 minutes.
I do sometimes. I'm just saying there's times I can only do it for 5 minutes is all I'm saying.
I know. Listen, my legs hurt like hell when I walk. That's why he told me to go. That's why he told me to go to the gym. I mean, to the Y. Get my muscles start moving and getting a little stronger, right?
Yeah.
Just get rid of some of it. Are your ankles fat?
Oh no.
All right.
No, actually, for my age, I'm in pretty good shape.
All right, well, still, for your age, you still got arthritis, nigga. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. So with that's what my doctor told me. For my age, get my ass to the Y or wherever I can work in one of them stepping joints like you got. Use it, Larry.
Oh yeah.
Use it. Bring it in the house. You can't bring it in the house.
No, it's way too big.
Too big. All right. Well,
Yeah.
it's too cold right now, but Larry, try to, man. Don't you know what I mean? Because it helps your heart too.
Oh yeah, and your body and your soul.
Yeah, but we talking about you not getting too comfortable and stiff. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Because you
I
get
know
in
what
that slump, you get comfortable, like me. I wonder
you're
why my back hurt all the time, why my leg hurt all the time, because I get comfortable.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Oh yeah.
All right. So
How's ERM doing this morning?
huh?
I saying hello to ERM AV.
Yo.
Or his nickname is, we can call him whatever we want.
Okay.
I
All right.
said
So
I was gonna name him. We'll call him whatever we want. That'll be his name.
okay.
Says we got 2 people in here.
All right. One of them I think is you. Because you can see the chat, right? How can you? Oh wait, you can't type back to the chat though, right?
Oh yeah.
Only way you could do that is if you got YouTube open.
No.
You can't type back to right now, and I cannot type back to the chat.
I can on my computer.
Oh snap! Snap! That's how they be doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah. All right, girl. I think I'm
You
gonna
got
get out
me.
of here. It's almost 7 o'clock, and I've been here almost 4 hours. I got to do some things. I got to get my clothes done and shit.
All right.
Get
And
ready for her to get ready here tomorrow.
don't
I'll
think
probably
that
see you later on today, sometime, probably afternoon.
don't. Oh yeah, y'all called me last night. I was asleep. But don't think that I'm not gonna stay on you about moving around, buddy.
All right, that's fine.
You
That's fine.
understand?
We do it.
And Mary, don't think I ain't gonna be just letting you spaz out on me anytime you want to. Girl, get it together.
All right. I love you guys. We'll talk to you later.
All right, but dang, bye, Larry.
Bye
Goodbye.
bye.